And a very pleasant good evening, football fans, and welcome to week number 4 of Henley Hornets football on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com. The Henley Hornets, after going undefeated on the road to start this season, finally return home tonight to Hill O'Brien Field to host the 2-1 Cascade Cougars. Good evening, everybody. I'm Josh Eldridge, joined by Kevin Petrick tonight, coming to you live from Henley High School. The Hornets get their first home game tonight. Kevin, it is good to be home.
Yes, we finally get to come to the home grounds here. A good crowd, a great night, beautiful night to play, and we have two good teams.
Certainly, as we take a look at the top 10, which we'll do a little bit later, both of these teams in the top 10. Henley is somewhere between that 2 and 4 range. Cascade somewhere between that 7 and 9 range, depending on when you look at it. But last week, Henley playing over there at Ashland, they faced a little bit of adversity from the crowd, from the team they were playing. They kept level head, and last week they got a pretty good win against Ashland.
Yeah, we knew Ashland could score the ball going in, and the Henley defense played very well, and they kept Ashland from scoring. Our offense started to click, and it turned out to be a pretty easy win for the Hornets.
Another one of those games that Logan Whitlock really left his stamp on. I think you and I did the math. It was 10 carries, over 180 yards last week. He just looks better each time he hits the field.
Yes, and we're seeing more and more with his game every time we watch him go out. His vision is just terrific. He's able to really see the lanes better than a lot of other running backs. You can't really teach that. He's just quick, and he can find those running lanes, and he's averaging up over 10 yards a carry. Yeah,
he's got a great match on the Cascade side of the ball. Logan is number 2 in the state in rushing. Cascade's leading rusher is going to be Jacob Bell. He's got 626 yards, 5 touchdowns on the year. It's going to be an interesting matchup between those two. They're not going to be going up against each other one-on-one, but kind of from afar, those two running backs are going to be the guys to watch tonight, I think.
Yes, for sure. Tonight's going to be a game of scheming. These are good football programs. They know how to watch film. They know how to scheme, and we have two contrast styles. Cascade's going to run all they can. Henley will mix it up like they always do, and we'll see which defense can stop the offenses. Yeah.
Really excited to see how this one shakes out. The Henley Hornets back at home tonight hosting the Cascade Cougars. We'll take a look at the early season Big Sky Conference standings as well as Special District 3 from which Cascade comes in this non-league contest. We'll also take a look at those coaches' polls and the OSAA top 10 as we have them coming up as we continue our pregame show. The Hornets at home taking on Cascade on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Help maximize your mileage with a free safety check. Just swing by. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses. all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Welcome back to our continuing coverage of Henley Hornets football on 104.3 and 960 Sports HD video on mybasin.com. The Hornets at home tonight for the very first time in the 2022 campaign, hosting the Cascade Cougars. Henley finds themselves atop the Big Sky Conference here in the early going with a 1-0 league mark, 3-0 overall, followed by Marshfield in the Big Sky, who are also 1-0 in league play. They're 2-1. Klamath Union sporting the same record, 1-0 in conference play and a 2-1 overall record. Mazama is also 3-0 overall, but they've yet to play their first league contest. They find themselves right in the middle of the pack this early in the Big Sky Conference, followed by Ashland, North Bend, and Hidden Valley. Each of those teams are 0-1 in conference play and 1-2 to begin the season. Meantime, these Cascade Cougars, they are leading the 4A Special District 3 with a 2-1 overall record, 1-0 in their conference, followed by Staten and Philomath. Marist is 2-1. They're in the middle of the pack there, followed by Junction City, Sweet Home, and Cottage Grove. And Kev, you and I were having a kind of conversation before this game started about the coaches' polls compared to the OSAA rankings. Well, Mazama is the consensus #1 team across the state. They're #1 in both of those polls, but then you start to divert right away. In the OSAA polls, or the rankings, I guess, because they're done mathematically, right. They're #2 in the coaches' polls. The coaches around the state seem to think they're right around 4. Then you've got Baker at 3, followed by Estacada at 4. Madras is 5. Marist is ranked 6th. And then you have this Cascade team, who, by the numbers, is ranked 7th. The coaches have them at 9. So it's kind of interesting when you compare and contrast what the numbers say versus what the guys who know these teams, watch these teams, coach these teams kind of have to say about these squads.
Right. The numbers, it might be a little early for the numbers to be right on. It takes 4 or 5 weeks before you get all the data in there, but we've got a lot of teams in the top 10 playing each other. I believe Cascade's only loss was to #6 Baker, so a lot of good competition.
Certainly, and we're going to take one more break here on the pregame show. When we come back, we'll take a look around the state, what's happening in the Klamath Basin, what else is happening in the Big Sky Conference, all that and more as we continue our pregame coverage on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
For COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out. I lost motivation in eating healthy. And for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it. But the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, no, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week and the next week. And soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes and then going Saturdays. I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband. And all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the golf. My husband is getting out of the house and working out with me. His golf game is increasing, we're lifting together, and we feel good. Harbor, where I lost my reins and got my gains.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager of Clown Falls Honda and Clown Falls Subaru. I've lived here my whole life. Most of our employees have lived here their whole life too. Our sales, service, parts, and body shop teams are all staffed with experienced local folks. You know them and they know you. Our dealerships are comfortable and not corporate. Comfortable means we're focused on you. I'm Rob and I'm glad to know you.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
And we're back on 104.3 960 Sports with HD Video on mybasin.com. The captains meeting at midfield for the Hornets. It is Logan Whitlock, Shaw Stork, along with Juan Manzo, and I believe Cooper Grow out there as well. That would be Braden Morris, the other captain for Henley. For Cascade, the captains are going to be Bryce May, Tegan Allen, Braden Leckerkirker, and Jackson Walsh, the captains for Cascade, as they get the coin toss settled down there on the field. Kev, you mentioned you think this is going to be a game of schemes. What do you kind of mean by that?
Well, when you run into a team with a certain style, you want to prepare your defense as best you can to obviously stop the offense. So this is going to be similar to maybe a Seaside or a Mazama, a team that runs all the time. They won't throw unless they really have to. So you may want to put some more players on the interior, try to stop that run. And then when they get in 3rd and long or 4th down situation, you want to try to prevent that pass, which they probably won't be as comfortable with.
I got the results of the coin toss. Henley won the coin toss. They have deferred to Cascade, who will receive, as the Cougars will defend the right side of the field, Henley defending the left side of the field. We're going to take one more break, and when we come back, we'll be ready for kickoff on 104.3 and 960 Sports. The Hornets at home against the Cascade Cougars.
Oregon Tech men and women basketball season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $75 for 30 games. Come help us celebrate our 75th anniversary and cheer on the Hustlin' Owls. Reserved season seats start at $175. And our all-new Family Pass gets a family of 4 in on the action starting at just $200. Go to OregonTechOwls.com/tickets to order. We will see you at Danny Miles Court.
Kicking off for the Hornets.
We are ready for football tonight. The Hornets kicking off to the Cascade Cougars. Henley tonight in their home black uniforms with yellow trim to signify the numbers and yellow stripe down black pants. Cascade tonight in yellow helmets, white jerseys, and black pants. The kick is up and it's fielded at about the 10, brought up past to the 25-yard line. And that is where Cascade will begin possession. That one was brought up by Garrett Bond.
Cooper Grow with the opening tackle tonight for the Hornets. And now we'll see that, which should be a classic matchup here between speed and strength. And I'm curious to see the pace. I'm going to watch the pace of both teams. You would think Henley would be a little quicker on offense. Cascade possibly taking their time, breaking the huddle, and kind of methodically moving the football.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the Cascade 25. It looks to be a handoff right up the middle. Pushing through for about 3 yards is the state's leading rusher, Jacob Bell, 626 yards. Add a few more, 630 yards now on the season. 5 rushing touchdowns. That's good for about 3rd in the state. Their quarterback, Nolan Abrams. Not too many passing numbers on him, although he does carry the ball quite a bit. Good for 4 touchdowns on the season so far. Kevin, you mentioned it. This team likes to run the football. They're doing it right out of the gate. 2nd down and about 6. Another run right up the gut. And that time for a solid gain of 4 or 5 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 1 on the way for the Cougars.
Nolan Northcutt with the tackle right there. Cascade running a tight formation. You won't see him spread the receivers out too often. There is one to the near side here, though, now.
That receiver is Gage Nicholson, the junior. Another handoff up the middle, this time stuffed, although I think good enough for a Cascade 1st down. A gain of 3, all they needed was 1. 1st down, Cougars, their 1st of the night.
Nolan Northcutt again on the tackle. We'll see a lot of the linebackers tonight filling those holes up in the line. A lot of Logan Whitlock and a lot of Nolan Northcutt.
It'll be 1st and 10 Cougars from their own 38-yard line. Bell, hand off to the near side, stumbles on some grass, and it's still a gain of about 6 or 7, and pardon me, that was Nolan Abrams on the QB keeper on that run. The junior coming along the near side. And for the Hornets this season, I believe this is the first time this year they've played on natural grass here at home. I think they've played on AstroTurf everywhere else.
Right. Little slower surface.
The 2nd and 4 play goes to the outside of the line of scrimmage, and good for a Cascade first down as they are just chipping away about 4 or 5 yards just about every play. It is now 1st and 10, Cascade from midfield.
Yeah, they're doing just what they want to do. 4 or 5 yards of carry.
Abrams sends a man in motion. This is a keeper coming to the near side, and a pickup of about 4 yards. On the carry there for Cascade was Jacob Bell, the senior running back, who has been so prominent for these Cougars this season. It'll be 2nd and about 6 to go.
Chris Janney with the stop for the Hornets.
Abrams takes the snap. This one is an option play. It's a keeper for Abrams, but he gets knocked down for a loss of 1. 3rd down and 6.
There's Owen Northcutt with his first tackle of the evening. Did a nice job reading that little play to the outside. And now we have a 3rd and long situation.
First time that Cascade has had to face 3rd down tonight. We're in a scoreless ball game still early on in the first quarter. 8:51 left to go in the period. All right, Abrams takes the snap. This is a handoff up the middle. Blasting forward was Bell. And he's going to get the first, a gain of 8 yards. And a Cascade first down, able to convert on that first try.
Ryland Fox on the tackle. And when you have 3rd and 8, you just run a blast up the middle. That's what this team does. So normally you see a team throw there, not this team.
Abrams again keeping this one on the option, spins around and falls forward for a gain of about 4. And Cascade doing a real nice job of just chipping away on this drive. This will be the 9th play already coming up with 8:12 to go in the first quarter, still scoreless.
Teams like this, that's what they want to do. They will just run that play till it doesn't work. And they're moving the ball quite well to start the game.
Coming up to the near side for Cascade is Alfredo Jimenez, the junior wide receiver, as Abrams is going to hand this one off to Bell, chugs up the middle, maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage. That will bring up 3rd down and long for the Cougars. Already 1 for 1 on converting 3rd down on this drive.
Quarterback Abrams, he's pretty nifty with the ball. Their offense kind of relies on him putting the ball out to his running back and maybe pulling it back and keeping it or going outside. He does a nice job of hiding the football. You're not always sure where it's at.
Cascade picking out their play. Out there for them on the line, Evan Fitzgerald, Cole Records, Tanner Fairfield, Bryce May, and Tegan Allen. This one a handoff coming to the near side. It's Bell. He stops and tries to get around a couple of Hornets defenders, but he is swallowed up after a gain of 2. That will bring up 4th down and a long 4 for Cascade. A good job by the Henley defense to stand him up there.
That was a little misdirection trap type play, and Chris Janney was all over it. And that'll bring up 4th and about what, Josh, about 4?
Yeah, I call it a long 4. See if Cascade keeps it out there. They've been good for just about 4 yards on every play, so now that you're deep into Henley territory at their about 32-yard line, not a bad idea to go for it here, and that's what the Cougars are doing. This one is going to be a keeper for the quarterback, Abrams, but again, stumbling on the grass. He winds up just short of the marker, and a turnover on downs. Henley takes possession.
Nice work by the Hornets. Just kind of sticking with it on that possession. Cascade was getting the yards that they wanted. Henley made a nice play on 3rd down and stopped them just short on 4th. Well done.
Henley's going to take over at their own 30 with about 6.5 to go in the first quarter. Still scoreless, led of course by Shaw Stork With Logan Whitlock to either side of him, his receivers Luke Bennett, Owen Sheen, and Chris Janney. Thomas Bakke will be in rotation as well. Storr can't contain the first snap of the game, has to come around to the near side, unleashes one downfield, and it's caught. Open room in front of Janney, and he's got all the time in the world. Inside the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Hornets. And that was Luke Bennett in on the reception, and a touchdown Hornets.
Another bit of Henley magic. The snap got past Shaw Stork, and that ball was loose, and the entire defense went for the ball. Shaw was the first one to it, and when that happened, there was nobody downfield at all. So Luke was all by himself. Shaw made the throw. Quick 6.
Yeah, you like that. Quick striking offense. One play for about 70 yards. Now the extra point from Sheen is up. And it is good. The Hornets out to a quick 7-0 lead with 6:15 to go in the first quarter. They are at home against Cascade here at Hill O'Brien Field for the first time this season, and they are feeling the support of the home crowd. 7-0 Hornets. We'll be back on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on .com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Well, it only took the Hornets one play to get on the board tonight. It was a 70-yard connection between Shaw Stork and Luke Bennett. That is Bennett's third touchdown catch of the season. That's Shaw's 6th touchdown pass. Not much to go off of there in terms of analysis, just a broken play that turned out great for the Hornets. Henley kicking off on the other side. That kick from Sheen is going to bounce around at the 5 and kick into the end zone for a touchback. So Cascade will take over at their own 20.
How many times have we seen this? Shaw Stork very calm under pressure, and that's what made that play work. Most people would be just frazzled. That ball's rolling around loose. Picked it up, took the time, set his feet, threw it downfield, and was rewarded with a touchdown.
A lot of composure on this team, especially, and I think it really came through last week in hostile territory against Ashland. The level-headedness of this team faced adversity and came out on the other side. It's good now here at home.
For sure.
It'll be 1st and 10 Cascade from their own 20. Their last drive ended in a turnover on downs, but it did last 12 plays. Here's the first one on this drive. It is a handoff to Bell right up the gut, and he is stuffed for a gain of 1.
Chris Janney among one of the Hornets in on the tackle. Bell's a strong runner.
He gets behind a strong offensive line for Cascade, too. You and I were commenting about their height. No official height list on the OSA roster, but plenty of kids, just the eyeball test, you can tell they're well over 6 foot.
A lot of size.
It's a handoff to the outside and cutting up field for a gain of 3, maybe 2 yards on that for Cascade.
Cohen Redmond and some of his friends making the stop.
I believe that was Trenton Wymore on the carry as well. One of the kind of 3 guys you'll see in rotation at that running back spot. They like to mix it up back there, but again, their guy all season long has been Jacob Bell. It's 3rd down for the Cougars. This is going to be a run right up the gut. Looks like it's right at the 30. Now, will you give it to him? Yes, they will. That'll be good for a Cascade first down, converting on 3rd. Again, they're 2 for 3 on the night.
Not by much, but just enough.
That's all you need.
Yes. You'll notice a lot of tacklers. It takes a lot of tacklers when you have a big line moving the football. Pursuit's going to be especially important tonight for the Hornet defense.
Looks to be a pass. Abrams dropping back, looking to the far corner, and it drops incomplete. First time we've seen Abrams drop back to pass tonight, and can't find his target. 2nd and 10.
The penalty flag on the near side of the field to hold.
So this one's coming back against Cascade as well. Good break there for the Hornets. And when you run block so much up on the offensive line, that pass block can kind of put you on your back foot a little bit. You look for an advantage, and you get called for the penalty.
And penalties can be costly to a running team, because if you don't really like throwing the football, you get 1st and 20. It's a little more difficult challenge for sure. And that's what they're going to be faced with right here.
1st and 20, the yard to gain is the Cascade 40. So this one coming back right where they started the drive about 2 minutes and 15 seconds ago. Cascade has averaged about 4 yards a carry in this game. This one is going to be a handoff to Bell along the near side, and he gets brought down. A tackle for maybe a 2-yard loss on the play. Cascade going backwards.
Logan Whitlock showing his speed on defense that time. Henley doing a nice job of moving that play to the sideline, stretching it out, giving Logan time to cut right through the line. Make a nice tackle for loss.
Henley's guys up front have done a great job of getting into the backfield this season. Their linebackers have done a fine job too.
This defense, it just surprises me every week. They just play really, really well.
2nd and 22 for the Cougars offense. Abrams dropping back to pass. He's looking over the middle of the field. It is dropped. The intended target there was Jackson Walsh, the big 6'7" tight end, returning all-conference talent for Cascade. Dropping the pass there brings up 3rd and forever for the Cougars.
Janney and Whitlock and Sheen all back there. They're ready for a pass. And now Cascade has to decide whether they want to throw it again on 3rd and very long.
3rd and 22. 4 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the first, and Henley up 7-0. A non-league contest for the Hornets, their final of the season. And then it's all Big Sky after that. Mazama's on the road tonight against North Bend. They open conference play. Klamath Union hosting Marshfield. A lot of interesting football. Here we go. 3rd and 22 for the Cougars. Abrams dropping back to pass. Moves up into the pocket. Bounces off an offensive lineman. Unleashes one downfield, and that will be incomplete. The intended target was Trenton Wymore, and Abrams just overthrew him by about 10 yards. So that'll bring up 4th and likely a punt situation for Cascade as they switch units.
Henley rushed a number of defenders and left their defensive backfield for man-to-man coverage, and they were terrific. As you can see across the field, good coverage all the way across, and we have a punting situation.
Back to receive is Janney. This punt is going to bounce around and out of bounds at about the 43-yard line into Cascade territory. So Henley gets good starting field position to begin their second drive of the game. Their first one didn't last long. It was one drive and one score for the Hornets earlier in this first quarter. Looking for some similar outcomes, I'm sure.
Yeah, one-play drives, we like those.
I'm sure the defense doesn't like them too much when you talk about staying on the field.
Right.
But want to see this offense work a little bit. Quarterback by Shaw Stork. Again, Bennett and Janney go out wide along with Owen Sheen on the line for the Hornets tonight. Braden Morris, Owen Northcutt, Emiliano Ortiz, Juan Manzo, and Nate Tappan. Hornets take over 1st and 10 from the Cascade 44 with about 3:50 left to go in the first quarter. They lead 7-0. Stork takes the snap, rolling to his near side, tries to find a receiver downfield, and Owen Sheen almost bringing that one down with one hand, but it will fall incomplete down near the 30-yard line. 2nd and 10 on the way.
Stork saw one-on-one coverage to the outside, and Owen ran a nice route. He's a good pattern runner, and he was open. Ball just sailed a little bit beyond him.
And so it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Hornets. Stork back there with Whitlock to his left. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 off to Stork's left. This one is going to be a handoff to Whitlock, coming around the near side, cuts upfield, past a couple of defenders, falls forward, and a solid run. Call it a gain of 8 on the play, maybe 9. 3rd and short on the way for the Hornets.
That carry was all about the cutback. Logan made a nice cutback. The line stayed with their blocks. He picked up 8.
You talked about the great vision that Whitlock has had this season and averaging 12.8 yards per carry on the season through 3 games.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
It is impressive.
3rd down and 1 for the Hornets. Stork Tries for the hard count, now takes the snap. Looks to his right to pass, now rushes right up the middle. Looked to be a design keeper. Good enough for the first down. Call it a gain of 3. First down, Hornets.
Leckerkirker with the tackle. Nice one-handed tackle there, but not until the first down was picked up for the Hornets.
1st and 10 from about the Cascade 33-yard line. The Hornets driving downfield, going from left to right. 1st and 10 Hornets. Stork drops back to pass, looks over to his left, looking downfield. There is a flag down. The pass is incomplete. The flag is thrown right about the line of scrimmage, so we'll see what the call is here.
That's a little hitch route. It's a good effort by the Hornets, but it'll come back.
Holding against the Hornets, and you're right, that'll bring up a 1st and 20 situation. So both teams having to deal with the holding call early.
In a game like this, penalties will be costly. It's hard to pick up yards against good teams. We talked about how the Hornets will scheme against Cascade's offense. Cascade's defense, how do you attack the Hornets' offense?
It's an interesting question,
yeah,
for sure. 1st and 20 from the Cascade 43. Stork with Whitlock to his left, sends Sheen in motion. And whistle blown before the snap. This is going to be a false start, so coming back even further for the Hornets.
Well, that good field position Henley was able to get, kind of going backwards here.
Yeah, now on the other side of midfield from where you want to be. Henley now in their own territory, or almost in their own territory, pardon me. They're at the Cascade 48 after that one.
It's still first down, but there's a ways to go.
1st and 25. Stork takes the snap, has time to throw, looks deep over the middle. Sheen is there, but the throw is out of bounds. 2nd down on the way.
Henley not afraid to open it up. We've seen some streaks down the sidelines and some long passes.
I think they feel confident in their speed and their receiving core. I mean, you do have some speed. Bennett and Janney are part of your kick return team, and Sheen would be, but he's the guy who's kicking the football. So
right.
It's kind of interesting there, but a lot of speed in this receiver core.
Sure.
2nd and 25 for the Hornets. 3 receivers set out to the left of Stork. This is going to be a handoff for Whitlock. He's going to be wrapped up going backwards. A loss of about 5. Now the Hornets on their side of midfield, 3rd and a mile.
A.J. Zhang back there for Cascade, and that was the first time they really got into the Hornets' backfield. A huge loss.
And as we have a minute, talked about some of the other games going on in the Big Sky. Mazama taking on North Bend over there on the coast. And in the second quarter, what was that, 16-0 Mazama?
Yes.
All right, well, there you have it. We've also got KU and Marshfield scoreless after their first quarter. 3rd and a mile for the Hornets. Going to say 20, maybe 30 yards is the measurement. Stork takes the snap, rolling to the near side, has some blockers. Tries to dump one off, but it is deflected up front by Cascade's number 65, Bryce May. Heads up defense by the lineman there, brings up 4th for the Hornets.
That was a good effort. Shaw once again buying time, still got those quick legs. Just wasn't able to find anybody downfield. And I'm guessing we'll see a punt.
The Hornets will punt the ball away. Back there to receive for Cascade is going to be Jacob Bell. He is stationed right about the 15. Stork kicks it at the 40. It is a high punt deep into the night sky. That's going to bounce around at the 20. That takes a beautiful kick inside the 10. Did it get inside the 5? They're going to mark it at the 6-yard line. What a punt from Shaw.
Special teams been very good for Henley. Not giving the other team a lot of field position all year for the most part. And that was a nicely kicked ball.
We'd like to remind you that this game on 104.3 and 960 Sports is brought to you by Les Schwab Tires. Having the right set of tires and wheels on your vehicle is just part of an essential safety checklist. That's why Les Schwab does more than install just tires and wheels. You can come on in for a free pre-trip safety check. They're going to help make sure that everything is in working order at Les Schwab Tires. All right, 1st and 10 for the Cougars at their own 6-yard line. Long way to go. The snap is going to the outside. Cutting upfield is Bell, and he's got daylight. He's up past the 30, now the 40. He's up past midfield, now the 45, the 40, 35, 30. He's got Noam near him, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Cougars. And that was Nolan Abrams on the carry, the quarterback, finding a hole for Cascade, bringing it 94 yards for a touchdown. Big plays, you strike quick in this game, Kev. That's the 2 scores, it seems.
If you want huge plays, you're in the right spot. And we saw a little speed from Nolan Abrams, the quarterback for Cascade. I kind of thought he might get caught. He did not. He went the length of the field.
One play, 94 yards, and now Cascade attempting maybe a 2-point conversion with the team out there. And, yeah, they are going for 2 here, trying to take the lead. This is another keeper for Abrams. He is wrapped up and wrestled down. He did not make it in, so the score remains 7-6. Henley still leads with 1 minute even to go in the first. Big play there for the Cougars. Could have had a chance to tie it up. They roll the dice, and they come up short.
Owen Northcutt. That's how you save a point right there.
Yes, sir.
Good, strong tackle. Was not going to let him get over that end line. And the Hornets hang on to a 1-point lead.
We will remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin at 1919 Austin Street or at 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza is a proud supporter of high school athletics. Also, Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. They know that picking the right path can make the journey easier, the distance shorter, and can assure that you end up at the right place. Whether you're dreaming of owning a home or you just want a great checking account, Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union can help you reach your goals. Hornets leading by a point with 1 minute left to go in the first quarter.
These teams have different styles, and they have different makeups, but for sure we have 2 talented teams, and what I have seen so far, 2 even teams.
Certainly.
Yeah, so we have an even game before us tonight. It's going to come down to penalties, mistakes, and some of those big, wacky, crazy plays.
We love big, wacky, crazy plays.
We do.
All right, the Hornets back to receive for them is Logan Whitlock, and I believe Chris Janney back there as well. Doing the kicking for Cascade is Jackson Walsh. The kick is up, sort of a line drive. That's going to bounce right to Janney. He's bringing it up to the 30, now up to the 35, past the 40, brought down at the 45. A great return for the Hornets there, and good starting field position for Henley.
I think that was Luke Bennett, and he did a nice job picking apart that group of people coming right at him. Kind of marched it right up the middle of the field and puts the football right at the 45.
Henley a short field in front of them again. Last time, though, they were gifted with similar field position and was forced to punt after some unfortunate penalties. Hoping for some better fortunes here. 3 receivers set out to the near side for Stork. Misdirection, handoff to Whitlock. He cuts around the far side of the field. He finds some room. He's up past the 50. Now brought down on the other side of midfield at the 41. So a gain of 14 on the play and a Hornets first down.
Yeah, that was a nice piece of misdirection. Had the whole defensive line moving one way, and Logan went the other. Big gain. Henley not going into a huddle. They're keeping the pace up on the ball.
1st and 10 from the Cascade 40. This one another handoff to Whitlock, finds a little bit of room, battling forward, keeps those legs turning for a gain of about 8, maybe 9. Solid pickup there by Whitlock, 2nd down.
Logan's deceptively strong, especially in the legs. He really can drive a pile, even against bigger kids. He can really drive the football.
That will bring us to the end of the first quarter, a game in which Henley leads Cascade 7-6. We'll be back with second quarter action as we continue our coverage of Henley Hornets football on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between. We keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Second and short situation for the Hornets as we welcome you back into the second quarter. Henley leads 7-6. A quick outlet pass winds up incomplete along the far sideline. Brings up third and short.
Stork showed good patience there, kind of waited for Owen Sheen to open up on the far side of the field, and the ball just slipped through his hands. The incompletion brings up third down and short.
Up a third down.
Third down and about one to go. The Hornets 0 for 1 on third down conversions so far tonight. Stork with Whitlock to his right. A handoff to him, trying to battle for that 1 yard, and it looks like he got it. That'll be first down Henley with 11:45 to go in the second, a game in which they lead by just 1 point.
There was a lot of traffic in there, and credit the line with just keep the push. They kept pushing enough to get the first down for Logan. Well done.
First and 10. Now from the Cascade 30. Looks to be a keeper for Shaw along the outside. Cutting upfield. There is a flag in the backfield as Shaw cuts upfield for a gain of 7. But this is holding against the Hornets, so it's coming back.
That's the first time I think we've seen a design quarterback run for Stork there, and it was successful if not for the hold.
So this one will be coming back. Another situation for the Hornets. Gifted great field position, and a holding call is what sets you back.
For the most part, the penalties have been the drive killers for
Yes.
both teams so far.
So first and 20. Two receivers to the near side for the Hornets, and Whitlock over to the right side for Stork. Stork trying to direct a little bit of traffic, takes the snap, drops back to pass, looks to the near side. Downfield is Janney, he catches it. He's inside the 10, inside the 5, brings it in for a Hornets touchdown.
What a nice pass and catch from Shaw Stork to Chris Janney. Coverage was pretty good by the Cascade defensive backs, but Janney was just had him on his back, and Shaw threw it on the inside in that seam. Good for the touchdown.
Looking for the extra point here. Henley leads 13-6 after that touchdown. Sheen with the extra point, it's up, and it is good. The Hornets up 14-6 over Cascade with 11:03 left to go in this second quarter. That drive going 55 yards. Took them 5 plays to get there. They went backwards, so I guess you could add a couple yards to that throw for Shaw. Another 10 on that one, so was that 65 yards? It's a good little drive there. Nice pitch and catch and a touchdown for the Hornets.
Coach Paschy drawing up some pass plays. Henley's been successful throwing the football, and even when they haven't made the completions, they're setting up their receivers to break open, just as Janney did in the middle of the field there. They went to the sidelines a few times, and then that little post pattern, good for the touchdown.
I'll remind you that this game is brought to you in part by Coldwell Banker Holman Premier Realty. Little things can add up to big bills when you're buying, selling, or owning a home, and that's why Coldwell Banker Holman Premier Realty's exclusive beyond the sale guarantees protect buyers, sellers, and homeowners from unexpected repair bills. To learn more, call Coldwell Banker Holman Premier Realty today. 14-6, and the Hornets lead with 11:03 left to go in the second on their first home game of the season. Nice to be back here at Hill O'Brien Field. The kids are back at school, so we've got a student section. Quite a fair bit of parents out here as well, and Cascade looks to have traveled well also. They've got a nice fair bit of parents and whatnot on the other side.
Got some new bleachers over there.
I like them.
They're getting a workout, yeah. Good crowd.
Couldn't ask for a better night. We started tonight about 70 degrees. Have cooled down a little bit in the base. You know, once that sun disappears, it does start to get a little bit chilly,
right,
especially out here south of town at Henley High School. But it is a beautiful night for football. All right, the kick is up. That one is going to bounce hard into the end zone for a touchback. Cascade, once again, will start at their own 20.
Nothing wrong with a touchback. If you can keep a team from starting outside of their 20, I think that's a good move.
Last drive for Cascade ended in 6. One play, 94 yards. It was a keeper for the quarterback, Nolan Abrams. Took it to the house. Henley's defense looking for a stop here. Get the ball back. You already have a score advantage, an 8-point advantage even. And this defense has done a fairly good job of stuffing Cascade. They had that 12-play drive. They came back with 7 more. And those have been their drives so far as they start out 1st and 10. This is a handoff to the running back up the middle. Falls forward. A gain of about 3. On the carry there was Garrett Bond for Cascade.
Yeah, I don't see either team changing their strategy quite yet.
And it's a little bit early for that, I would think.
Sure. Yeah, the game's tight, and both teams have kind of had some hit and miss plays. But Cascade has faith in their running game, and I'm sure we'll see a lot more of it.
All right, 2nd and about 6. This one is going to be a handoff to the running back once again up the middle, wrestled down after a solid gain of maybe 6 yards on the play. Looks like it'll be good enough for a Cascade first down.
Rylan Fox put the finishing touch on that tackle, but it will be 1st and 10.
Cascade now at their own 30. Abrams with the snap. Another handoff up the middle. On the carry once more was Bond. That time a gain of 2. 2nd and 8. That
nice
dive up the middle is what Cascade has been relying on.
Yeah, that was a nice job that time for the most part by the Henley line, just clogging that thing up, keeping it to a short gain.
So a couple extra yards than I might have originally thought. It'll be 2nd and about 6 instead of 7 or 8. Abrams takes a snap, looking to drop back to pass, looks to the far sideline. The pass is caught, wrapped up and wrestled down was Hunter Anundi. And that'll bring up 3rd down, just short of the marker by maybe about 4 yards, 3rd and 6.
It was a nice completion, just a simple out route. And that's what Cascade will need. They'll need to pass every once in a while. And here's a big 3rd down here.
3rd down and 3. This is going to be a handoff. Battling up the near sideline was Cascade. Bond again on the carry. He carries it forward for 5 and a Cascade first down.
Owen Sheen coming up, making the initial contact.
So it'll be 1st and 10. Cascade still driving upfield in their territory at about the 43. Abrams with the snap. This one is a keeper, kind of an option. Tries to spin around, decides against a pitch, and is brought down. A loss of 1 or 2 on the play, 2nd down.
Juan Manzo. A fine tackle. Loss of a couple.
So 2nd and 11. Kind of got that double option for Cascade. You got Abrams could go for the handoff, but he also had the option to pitch that one there too.
Right.
So a lot of different looks from Cascade so far.
Sometimes it's hard to locate the ball, and that's part of the trickery of that offense.
2nd down and 11. This is a handoff right up the gut. The ball carrier brought down after a gain of 7. That'll bring up 3rd and 5, and that looked to be Jacob Bell on the carry for the Cougars.
Luke Bennett tripped him up. And another 3rd down.
Cascade tonight on 3rd down is 2 for 3. Here's another opportunity. 3rd and 5, and a timeout is going to be called by Henley. We will stick with you through this timeout. As a matter of fact, it is a great time to remind you that this game is brought to you in part by Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness have the most understanding trainers that you could ask for. They help you get motivated, and their workouts will make you feel accomplished all day long. Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness want you to lose those reins and get your gains. And Kevin, during this timeout, one of the things you and I were talking about during the pregame show that I had found in doing a little bit of research, this is the first time these schools have ever played a football game against each other, which is kind of neat.
I hadn't realized that, but thinking back, I don't recall these two teams meeting. I know that Cascade was in Klamath Falls last year.
Yeah, they lost 31-28 to Mazama.
So they kind of know the area here. They know that they'll be scraping bugs off their car about
yes.
about a month after they get home.
Yeah.
So they know what it's like here with the altitude and the cold. But they came out and played pretty well for having such a long trip. So good start for both teams. And we have a close game.
3rd and about 5. The yard to gain is the 43 on the other side of midfield. And so Cascade, they function pretty quickly out of the huddle. Abrams sending a man in motion. This is going to be a handoff. Carrying that one was Karsten Sandy. He battles forward for a gain of 1.5 yards, maybe more. That brings up 4th and a long 3.
Good stop there by the Hornets. Chris Janney with a tackle. And this will be a 4th down and 3 or 4. A big play in the game.
Cascade tonight 0 for 1 on 4th down conversions. They turned the ball over right around midfield, right around this point last time they went for a 4th down conversion. So this one is a 4th and 3 try. The last one was 4th and 4. All right, here we go. Abrams sending a man in motion. This is going to be a handoff to the near side. Ball carrier gets the 1st down and then some. That looks to be Bell battling forward, and a good gain. Call it about 10 on the carry, maybe 11. And that'll be a Cascade 1st down.
Bell really squared his shoulders. That's probably the most powerful run I've seen him make tonight. And he was moving people. He picked up the 1st.
1st and 10. From the Henley 40 as the Cougars now driving downfield. New Hornet into the ball game is Cohen Redmond. 6.5 to go in the second. Henley leads 14-6 on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com. 1st and 10, Cougars. Abrams takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Bell, who cuts up off the guard on the other side of the field. Battles forward for a gain of 8, maybe 9. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Bell seems to have kicked it up a notch on the interior running. I feel like he's really running hard on this drive. Making some nice carries. Another good gain, 8 yards. Cascade's pace, I'm impressed with it. They shifted a lot. Sometimes they're quick to the ball. Sometimes they take their time. I like when teams do that. You don't really know what's coming.
2nd and 2. It's a keeper for the quarterback, Abrams. It looks like he got it. That will, in fact, be a Cascade 1st down, battling right up the gut.
Thomas Bakke in the backfield made a good tackle, actually. But the play was just still enough to pick up the 1st.
12th play of the drive coming up for Cascade. They have had the ball now going on 5 minutes, 5.5 so far. 1st and 10. This is a handoff to, I believe that was Johnson up the middle. and a Cascade player down. So we will take this time to remind you that this game is brought to you by Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate at Klamath Falls Subaru. Stop by and say hi. Well, the Hornets lead 14-6 with 5:21 left to go here in this second quarter. Cascade picking up the pace, maybe in terms of some fierce blocking on their side, but and this drive, as I mentioned, started with 11 minutes left to go in the period. So what? That's 5.5 minutes, just about.
Yeah.
And they've only gone, 80 yards?
Yeah, that's good old-fashioned just marching the football.
Yeah.
That last play was kind of a break for Henley, just a weird play. The running back just slipped and fell. Nobody really made contact, so Henley got a good break there. As we're waiting for the player to be attended to.
Opportunity for us to look at some of the other action happening for Klamath Basin teams tonight. Mazama on the road against North Bend. We'll try to get you some score updates for these games as we go along tonight, but that Vikings team, consensus #1 team in the state in the coaches polls, the OSA numbers rankings, it really doesn't matter who you ask. People are liking Mazama this year, and they're on the road against North Bend. Klamath Union at home over at Modoc Field against Marshfield. Now that's an interesting matchup. The last score update we got there was through one quarter. It was scoreless.
It was still in the first. And there was no score. 0-0 was that one.
So the other game going on in the Big Sky, Hidden Valley visiting Ashland. So we'll try to keep you updated on some of these games going on. Yesterday, as far as Klamath Basin teams go, Cross Point Christian defeated Chiloquin 50-22. Tonight, Lost River is taking on Heppner, a 2A versus 1A matchup. Now, Lost River plays 8-man football. Heppner plays 9-man football at the 2A classification. So, for the first time this season, Lost River playing 9-man football, which is, I'm just curious how they set up this week of practice. It's just very strange.
Yeah, sometimes you do that. You have to be flexible, and two good teams. I think they're both top 5 in their
yes, they are.
classification. So, should be a good football game down there tonight.
You also have Bonanza taking on Myrtle Point this evening on the road. Okay, we're back ready for football. 14-6, 5:21 to go in the second quarter. Cascade driving. This is going to be the 12th play of the drive on the way. It's going to be second down. A drive right up the middle again, this time stuffed for a gain of 3. That'll bring up third and about 7, maybe a long 6 for Cascade.
Owen Northcutt in there to make the tackle.
Cascade has converted on every other third down conversion tonight. They are 2 for 4. If you look at the numbers, they're due right here. See what Henley has to say about it. Third and about 6. A near side keeper for Abrams. He decides to huck it downfield. The pass is incomplete. Down by about the 10-yard line. The intended target was Damon Hunsaker, and that will bring up fourth.
Ball was thrown just at the shoe tops, so just a little bit low. Wasn't able to make the catch, and another fourth down. Henley defense doing a good job of getting Cascade into third and fourth down situations. We'll see if they can get off the field here.
Cascade 1 for 2 in fourth down conversions tonight. Have already converted once on this drive. Here it is, 4th and long. Abrams drops back to pass, looks over the middle. The pass is complete to Jackson Walsh. That'll be good for a first down and then some. Call it a gain of about 15, maybe 20 on the play by Walsh. First down, Cascade. Not quite first and goal. They was brought down at the 11, so 1st and 10 from the 11.
That was a nice route. Right in the middle of the field, right in the space, just went to space, found a little spot, sat right there, made the reception.
This is a handoff for Cascade. Going up along the far sideline. Small gain on the play, about 3 or 4 yards. Second down on the way for the Cougars. This is play number 15 on the drive.
Owen Northcutt with another tackle. And they have eaten up this quarter.
Yes, 3:55 left to go in this quarter. In the first half, Henley leads 14-6. Cascade took over with 11 minutes to go in this period.
Yeah.
They're working on a 7-minute drive here.
Almost the whole quarter. And if you keep the ball away from Henley's offense, That's a good strategy.
2nd and 6. It's going to be a handoff to Bell. He gets swallowed up along the far sideline, I think just short. Brings up 3rd and...
Sandy, the ball carrier.
Pardon me, that was Sandy carrying the football there. Call it 3rd and 3 on the ensuing play for Cascade.
Owen Northcutt again, and a wall of Hornets ending that run. 3rd down and about 3 or 4.
Fumble snap. Abrams picks it up at about the 15, falls on it. And that was a disastrous play for Cascade. They lost about 9 yards, brings up 4th and 11.
That's one of those plays we talked about. You know, you just don't know a fluke play here or there. That went from 3rd and 2 to 4th and 11, just like that. So that's a big, big consequence here.
Cascade going for it. Abrams drops back to pass. He feels pressure on his right, rolling out to his left. There is a flag down. He unloads one towards the end zone. It is caught, but there is a flag.
Touchdown, Cascade.
Holding against the Cougars. This one coming back, no touchdown. And we're going to redo 4th down.
It doesn't count, but we learned a lot right there. The Cougars quarterback, Abrams, did a nice job. He can make that scramble throw as well. Got away from some pressure, kept his cool, found someone in the back of the end zone and completed the pass. Fortunately for the Hornets, holding penalty will negate the 6 points. That was a nice play.
Yeah, certainly. He felt the pressure to his backside, rolled out to his left, and completed that pass, although it doesn't count, but that was a good football play. So 4th and, gosh, what would you call that, 25?
Yeah, about 25.
And Cascade's going for it. Abrams is going to hand it off to Bell. Bell trying to cut around the far sideline. He does cut forward for a gain of 3 or 4, but that is very well short of a Cascade 1st down. So Hornets will get the ball back after a 17-play drive for Cascade that lasted 8 minutes and 47 seconds.
Wow. And what ended the drive?
A turnover on downs.
And a penalty.
Penalty, yeah.
The penalties are really ending these drives for both teams. You have to play clean football tonight when you have 2 good teams on the field.
And the reason I bring up the turnover on downs is because Cascade ripped off a 12-play drive to start the game, and it was the very same reason that killed that drive was the penalty, yes, but the turnover on downs, is what goes in the books there. But they are willing to go for it on 4th. Henley takes over at their own 25. This looks to be a screen pass to the near side for Sheen. He's battling past one defender, cuts upfield. He's up for a gain of 14. And Sheen showing off the stiff arm there and a 1st down.
Yeah, I like that play. You just have Owen one-on-one outside, get him the ball and see if he can make a tackle or miss and get a big gain, and he did just that.
Only the 3rd 1st down of the night for the Hornets, but they've got to work quickly here in a 2-minute drill to end the half. It is 1st and 10 from their own 44. Stork, design keeper along the far side. He cuts upfield. He's up past the 50. And he is brought down at the 46. There is a flag down. So the clock stops, and we'll see how this one goes. The flag is in the backfield. The officials have seen holding a lot tonight, so we'll see if that ends up being the call again. Personal foul against Cascade.
This will help out the Hornets.
Certainly will. I wonder what the foul was exactly. Looks like it's clipping.
It was right in the middle of the field.
Yeah, I saw it wasn't the white cap. It was the other official who was kind of giving that signal to his upper thigh. So I'm thinking that was a clipping call, and that'll be 1st down Hornets.
Henley was on the ball really quickly on that last play. They got up from the last play and snapped it in a hurry. So we've seen this before. Henley's very good in the 2-minute drill.
They play some of their best football up against the clock.
Yeah, they're very good. They're focused and they're quick.
1st and 10 from the 35. Henley driving into Cascade territory. Stork, play action pass, throw it over the middle to Sheen. It is caught at the 20. 1st down Hornets, move the sticks and stop the clock. 1:32 left to go in the half. Hornets up 14-6. They're driving downfield trying to put some points on the board to end this half.
Another pass across the middle to Sheen. I think they're seeing something there. A little vulnerability in the middle of the field.
1st and 10 from the Cascade 20. Sending a man in motion. That's Janney. Stork drops back to pass, looks to the near side, unloads one to Whitlock. It's caught, and that was a beautiful pass for a Hornets touchdown.
That was a beautiful pass. That one had to have a little touch on it. He looped it up and over the defensive back. Another touchdown throw for Shaw Stork.
For Shaw this season, that is touchdown pass number 7, and for Logan Whitlock, his first receiving touchdown of the year. Congratulations to the junior on that one. And the teams are walking backwards. There might have been a flag. I didn't see it.
You know what? I didn't either. My mistake. I thought that was a touchdown.
Oh, brother. All right, we are back.
It's hold.
There's a holding against the Hornets, so no touchdown. Walk it back. Was a great throw, was a great catch, but erase it from your memory. We've got 1st and 20.
Still 1:15 left here in the half.
Hornets breaking out a trick play, unleashing one downfield. I believe that was Mark Carpenter. And did we get pass interference down there in the end zone? Yeah, there's a flag down where the receiver was. This could be pass interference, which could be a big help to the Hornets. By the way, yeah, that was Mark Carpenter. Took the handoff, moved over to the right, and unloaded one downfield. This one could be moving forward, though.
Little halfback pass type of play there. And I like that. You got to be creative in games like this, and this one's going to pay off.
So the yard to gain is still set at about the Henley 10. They're going to be taking this, or pardon me, the Cascade 10. And they're taking this one from the 15. It'll be 1st and 5. A little outlet pass to the far side. Battling upfield is the receiver. And it looks like he might have got the first down. That was Sheen along the far sideline.
Yep.
And Stork, Coach Stork, calling for a timeout, was waving his arms there for a minute. And clock stops at 55 seconds.
Yeah, good job by Coach Pashy and the Hornets offense there. There was definitely a coverage problem on that side. There was nobody out there with Owen. They just flipped it out there, and he picked up a nice chunk of yards.
All right, 1st and goal from the 5. Stork takes the snap. This is a handoff to Whitlock. Bounces around, cuts inside, into the end zone. Henley touchdown. Looking for any laundry, and I don't see any. That one will be in the books. Henley up 20-6 with 39 seconds left to go in this half.
Well, they only had the ball for 2 minutes this quarter, and they made it count. So that says something about your offense. They are so good in the 2-minute drill. And they come through again. Big touchdown late in the first half.
The kick from Sheen is up, and it is good. 21-6 Hornets. With 39 seconds left to go in the first half, we'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll continue your coverage of Henley Hornets football on 104.3 and 60 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com.
Oregon Tech men and women basketball season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $75 for 30 games. Come help us celebrate our 75th anniversary and cheer on the Hustlin' Owls. Reserved season seats start at $175. And our all-new Family Pass gets a family of 4 in on the action starting at just $200. Go to OregonTechOwls.com/tickets to order. We will see you at Danny Miles Court.
And welcome you back to 104.3 960 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com. The Henley Hornets up 21-6 over Cascade. 39 seconds left to go in the first half. That last drive for the Hornets, 2 minutes, 4 plays. They looked good, all 4 of them, and they converted for 6. Up now by 2 touchdowns. Sheen to kick things off. It's a line drive that is going to be caught by about the 5. Brought up past the 15, now to the 20. Brings it up past the 25, and now to the 30. Wrestled down at the 35 was the ball carrier for Cascade. And that is going to be Karsten Sandy bringing it up. 29 seconds left to go in the half. That is where Cascade will bring things up. And for a team that has been long drives, short plays all night long, we'll see what they can do here with 30 seconds left to go in the half.
Jason Kern put a wallop on that ball carrier on that kick return. Very nice tackle. And you're right, this will be interesting with 29 seconds. Is Cascade going to air it out?
Cascade still has all 3 timeouts as well, so an opportunity to flip field position. Abrams dropping back to pass, looking over the middle, is brought down as he throws. That ball is high up into the air and intercepted at the 40. Brought down at the side of the catch for the Hornets, an interception.
Chris Janney played that just right. Ball was thrown pretty high, and he was able to get back, catch that ball at its highest point. Nice interception.
And now Henley, who still has a couple of timeouts left with 20 seconds to go, take over at the Cascade 40. It's not out of the realm of possibility for the Hornets to break off a big play. We'll see what Coach Green there in the huddle, what he has to say about some things. Coach Paschy in there as well, the offensive coordinator.
We'll see if they decide to just take their lead into half or if they want to take a long shot.
3 receivers to the near side for the Hornets. It's Sheen, Bennett, and Janney. No one out to the left of Stork. Stork takes the snap, rolls to the near side, fires a bullet downfield, but no one's home. Well overthrown, incomplete, 2nd and 10.
It's like a penalty flag there at the line. Yep.
Coming against the Hornets, and I think you're starting to go backwards here. This is probably one of those where you say, okay, there was our one shot. Let's take this one into halftime. The Hornets will get the ball back to start the second half as well, which is something you could take to heart.
This is one of those games where anything can and will happen, so I like that they took a shot there.
All right, so 1st and 20. And it looks like everyone is bunched up there on the line of scrimmage. Shaw takes the snap, kneels it, and that will bring us to the end of one half of football tonight. From Hill O'Brien Field on the campus of Henley High School, the Hornets lead 21-6 against the Cascade Cougars. We'll be back to break it all down for you. Take a look around the state. We've got score updates from Azama. We've got score updates for Klamath Union and anything else you might want. Stick around on 104.3 and 960 Sports. After 24 minutes, the Hornets lead over Cascade 21-6. Keep it.
During COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out. I lost motivation in eating healthy. And for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it, but the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, no, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week and the next week. And soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes and then going Saturdays. I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband. And all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the golf. My husband is getting out of the house and working out with me. His golf game is increasing, we're lifting together, and we feel good. Harbor, where I lost my reins and got my gains.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Honda and Clown Falls Subaru. I've lived here my whole life. Most of our employees have lived here their whole life too. Our sales, service, parts, and body shop teams are all staffed with experienced local folks. You know them and they know you. Our dealerships are comfortable and not corporate. Comfortable means we're focused on you. I'm Rob, and I'm glad to know you.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
It's halftime at Hill O'Brien Field on the campus of Henley High School. Some Friday night football, and the Hornets lead 21-6 over the Cascade Cougars. Very different styles of football so far tonight, Kev. Cascade has kind of, they've eaten up the clock. They've ran long drives, and you look at the Hornets, their scoring drives are drives of 1 play, 5 plays, and 4 plays. They have done it quick, but that's business as usual.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the game's kind of going as we thought it would as far as the styles go. The scoring, once again, Henley defense only giving up 6 points to this team. Really, really a good effort in that first half. And the offense, what can you say? They just capitalize on everything from the weird play to, the turnover, turning that into points. Just very opportunistic, I think is the right word for that offense. And a nice lead for the Hornets, 21-6 at halftime.
Some interesting numbers. I'd be curious to actually have the numbers in front of me. Unfortunately, I don't. But what the actual offensive yards are for Cascade, because they've turned the ball over on downs twice. They have 7 first downs tonight. They haven't converted on third down very well. They're only 2 for 6, but they are 2 for 4 on fourth down conversions, so they're keeping these late drives alive a little bit. It's quite interesting when you talk about how well Cascade has moved the football. They just haven't been able to get any points on the board.
Right. And Henley's done a nice job of keeping them in third and fourth down situations, and it's gone about 50-50. Henley stopped them on a few. Cascade's made a few, and it's made to the score that we had before us, 21-6.
3 touchdowns for the Hornets. Luke Bennett converted from a 70-yard catch. Chris Janney caught one from 65 yards out. Logan Whitlock punched in a 5-yard rushing touchdown for Cascade. Their one score comes on a 96-yard touchdown rush from their quarterback. That would be Nolan Abrams. Just about what we expected from each of these squads. There's plenty more football left to be played. We'll talk about that coming up as we continue our halftime show. We'll also give you score updates from some of the other games happening in the Big Sky Conference. Mazama up on North Bend. Klamath Union trailing Marshfield. We'll get you the full picture coming up in just a few minutes as we continue our coverage of the Henley Hornets up on Cascade 21-6 on 104.3 XD Sports with HD video on mybasin.com.
The road can be a crazy place. That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Help maximize your mileage with a free safety check. Just swing by. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
We're at halftime tonight at Hill O'Brien Field on the campus of Henley High School. 21-6, the Hornets lead after one half of play. Not the only game going on tonight concerning Klamath Basin teams. Mazama taking a road trip to the coast to North Bend. They're up 30-0 over North Bend in that game. Not quite sure how much time is left in that contest, but I think when you talk about the number one team in the state going up against a team that has struggled this year, North Bend has scored 40 points through their first 3 games. They've given up 113. I think when you talk about what Mazama should be doing over there on the coast, that's about what you're seeing.
Yeah, they're taking care of business, obviously, on that road trip. North Bend probably a little bit down this year. Mazama, best team in the state, so yes.
Klamath Union at home tonight over at Modoc Field against Marshfield, and Klamath Union hanging around those Pirates, 13-7, the last score we got over there. And for a team that's rebuilding in Klamath Union, and for a team that is the defending state champion but graduated a lot of talent, Klamath Union hanging around the Pirates. And I don't know, I like Klamath Union this year. They seem to be kind of a sleeper pick in this conference.
Yeah, they're making some noise. They got a nice win last week, beat Hidden Valley in a close one, and they're in a close game tonight as well.
Mustangs, you mentioned Hidden Valley on the road against Ashland tonight, the other game going on in the Big Sky. We've also got some football being played in the Klamath Basin. Yesterday, Cross Point Christian handled business against Chiloquin, 50-22, a win for Cross Point there. Tonight, Lost River taking on Heppner, a 2A versus 1A matchup there. Lost River, a top team in the 1A, on the road against Heppner, a top 5 team in the 2A. Do we have a score update on that one?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Okay. And then Bonanza on the road against Myrtle Point this evening as well. Some college football coming our way tomorrow. On this station, you can hear one of the most anticipated matchups, if not the most anticipated matchup in the Pac-12. The Oregon State Beavers at home at Reser Stadium against number 7 USC. That'll certainly be an interesting game. Kickoff is at 6:30. Our coverage begins at 4:30 with the pregame show on 104.3 and 960 Sports. The number 15 Oregon Ducks traveling up to Pullman, Washington to take on the Washington State Cougars. You got any thoughts on those ones? I think they're actually a pair of real interesting games.
They're pretty good games. Beaver fans are going to find out if they're for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got 3 nice wins under your belt. USC's there for real as well. So that'd be a good test.
That game is tomorrow, 6:30 on our station, 104.3 and 960 Sports. We talked a little bit about the OSAA Top 10 rankings as opposed to how they line up with the coaches' polls in the 5A. Henley comes in as the number 2 ranked team in the state. According to the numbers, they are one of only 3 undefeated teams left in the entire state. Partner that up with Mazama, who is the consensus number 1 team across the state. Again, they're up by a few scores over North Bend. And then one more undefeated team in the 4A is Estacada. They have yet to pick up a loss as well. So they're ranked 4th. They're number 2 in the coaches poll. You kind of see where they start to differ. Baker is ranked 3rd according to the numbers. According to the coaches in the 4A, they are number 6. Madras is number 5 according to the numbers. They're not ranked by the coaches around the state. Marist is 6th, but according to the coaches, they are ranked 5th. Cascade at that 7 and 9 range. Scappoose right there at home. They're number 8 in both lists. Junction City, number 9. And LeGrand is number 10. The top 10 after it shapes up after about 3 weeks of play here in the state of Oregon. A little bit early to look ahead to playoffs, but you and I were talking, Kevin, about how playoffs will shape up. 3 teams out of our conference will make a bid into the 16-team automatic qualifiers. There's 5 conferences around the state. Each of them get 3, and the Big Sky could sneak in that one at-large team that would be left after the 15 are selected. Cascades League, which features Staten, Philomath, Marist, Junction City, Sweet Home, Cottage Grove, they could also take that at-large bid. But it is interesting. I mean, we have a possibility of sending 4 teams to the playoffs. This early, it's a little bit tough to judge who it might be, but it is interesting to look at.
Yeah, we have 3 teams in the top 10 currently this league, so that bodes well for a fourth team. We could get 4 teams, a pretty good chance, 4 teams in the playoffs, and that's what you want. We have a strong league, and as our teams play each other, all those numbers, it's complicated, but the numbers pile up. When you play good teams and get good wins, you move up. So there's a lot riding on these games, especially these non-conference games like tonight, where you're playing number 4 against number 9. And the result will definitely help you down the line.
Look at some of the conference numbers for Henley. The second most potent offense in the league, 105 points scored. Mazama is number 1 at 116. But the Hornets do have the best defense in the conference. They've only allowed 40 points, 46, I guess, if you count this against Cascade, which is still number 1 in the conference in terms of team defense. It's interesting because coming into this year, Henley's defense, I think, was probably the question mark. When you talk about the 3 facets of the game, we knew they could play special teams. Obviously, this team can play offense. But this defense is, I would say, probably one of the main factors in why this team is still undefeated and in the driver's seat after halftime of this game.
Yeah, we weren't really sure what to expect from the defense. There were some new starters coming into the lineup, and they've just been terrific. They haven't allowed many points at all against good offenses. We've seen, just by luck of the draw, last week we saw the top-ranked quarterback in the state as far as the numbers, and today we've got the top runner. So seeing some good opposition, and the defense has risen to the challenge, playing very well.
We will remind you before we take one more break on the halftime show that this game tonight on mybasin.com, also on 104.3 and 960 Sports, is brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Refuel after the game at Mountain Mike's Pizza. You've earned a pizza with 100% whole milk mozzarella and toppings piled so high that you'll need a mountain guide to reach the top. Mountain Mike's Pizza on Washburn near Walmart Shopping Center. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be. We're going to step aside one more time, and when we come back, it'll be ready for the third quarter from Henley High School tonight. The Hornets up on the Cascade Cougars 21-6. We've got another 24 minutes of football on the way, so keep it here on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Sports was kind of defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Halftime winding down here at Henley High School. The Hornets leading Cascade 21-6. Hornets to get the football back to start the third quarter here in about another minute. What are you thinking coming into this third quarter, Kev? I imagine the Hornets are probably trying to keep things business as usual when they're up by just a couple of scores.
Yeah, well, that first half we played in under an hour. So, I mean, there's a lot of grinding, a lot of clock movement. The clock's not stopping a whole lot.
No.
So Henley may only get a handful of possessions. The key is that they've made the most of those possessions. So we'll see what Cascade wants to do. Their game plan really hasn't flawed that much. They're eating up all the time. They're getting long drives. They're just not finishing those drives with touchdowns. And that leaves us where we are right now. Henley, when they get the ball, they're they're moving it. It's just not for a very, very long amount of time.
Yeah, you mentioned only 4 drives for Henley, 4 real drives in that first half. They took the ball with 20 seconds. They ran 2 plays. I guess technically 5 drives, but really 4, and they converted 3 out of those 4 times.
Right.
So that's good efficiency. You'll take that. 75% conversion rate. Those are good numbers.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they only had 4 true possessions in that half. That was a crazy half. A lot of big plays, a lot of penalties. You really can't predict what will happen here in this second half.
All right, so the Hornets will get the football to begin the second half. Henley tonight in their home varsity black uniforms. They've got the yellow H on the side, the yellow stripe down the middle, yellow trim around black numbers, and yellow stripe down some black pants. For Cascade tonight, yellow helmets with a white jersey, black numbering across the front and back, black pants for the visiting Cascade Cougars. Coming to us from Turner, Oregon tonight.
Well, Henley's going to get the ball.
So they get that opportunity to put that drive together.
Right, which is rare. So that's a good thing for the offense. See if they can sustain a drive and eat some clock as well.
Are you ready for the second half?
Started the game at 70 degrees tonight, well into the low 60s tonight in the Klamath Basin. People breaking out the parkas. It is certainly football weather as the third quarter begins with a kick from Jackson Walsh. It's going to be fielded by Janney at about the 15. He cuts upfield up to the 25, now the 30 before scooting forward to about the 32-yard line on the return. That is where the Hornets will begin possession in the third quarter.
Bennett fielded that ball very well. He wanted to go down to a knee because it was a low roller, but he was smart. He didn't touch the ground with his knee. Reached over, picked the ball up, and carried the ball at the field. Good heads-up play.
2 receivers to the near side, one out right for Stork. He's got Whitlock to his left as the Hornets drive from right to left across your radio dial. 1st and 10 from the 33. Stork takes the snap. It's a handoff to Whitlock. He's got a bit of daylight running up the middle. He's up to the 40 before being brought down. That's a gain of 7 on the play. Still short of the first. Second down.
You are right, Josh. There was daylight. Nice hole opened up by the line there. Logan made his way through it, giving the Hornets a second and short. They can be creative here.
Looking to see Logan carry the ball a bit in this second half. Didn't get too many carries in that first half. On only 4 drives for the Hornets. He takes the first carry there, brings it up for 8. Here's 2nd and 2. This is going to be a play-action pass. Stork unleashes one downfield. It is incomplete. In and out of the hands of the receiver on the far side of the field. That'll bring up 3rd and short.
That was a nice play action. And Shaw put that ball right in there. He's throwing the ball extremely well tonight.
Yeah, he's hurling it. He's got a nice spin on it. He's got a real good control of the football. 3rd and about 2 for the Hornets at their own 40-yard line. And they get Cascade on the hard count. Just about everyone jumped there. So that'll be a Hornets first down. Their very first of this second half. That totals 7 for them on the game.
You don't see that very often. That was strange. The whole line was offsides. They all moved at the same time. I don't know what they saw or think that they heard. But all 4 players over the line.
1st and 10 for the Hornets from their own 45. Stork takes a snap. It's a keeper trying to run it up the gut, trying to find some room. Bounces around to the outside. Stays on his feet after 1 tackle. Shedding another. Shaw Stork showing off the balance. Trying to cut upfield. He gets to the 40. Now up to the 45. There is a flag down before Shaw steps out at the 50. There's 2 flags roughly at the same spot at about the 40. And likely with all the dancing that Shaw did, this one might be coming back. We'll have to see. But what a job by Shaw Stork to stay on his feet. He was dragged down almost twice.
I thought he was down twice, and he managed to escape both of those. There were 3 penalty flags down, so everybody, all the officials saw something.
So yes, there's 2 flags to the near side of the field, right about the 40, and then 1 on the far side of the field in front of the Cascade sideline, about the 45. And so with that one being so far away from the play, could have been a different call, but so far we just have holding on the Hornets, so this one's coming back. It looks Looks like only one holding call. Maybe all the flags were
For the same thing,
Or yeah, I'm
perhaps. If you watched that on the live stream, that was
yes,
that was a wild play.
That's one of the reasons you should be watching the live stream. It's totally free on mybasin.com, brought to you by plenty of our wonderful sponsors. And it's free all season long. First and a mile for the Henley Hornets, about 25 it looks like. Stork going to dump one off to Sheen along the near side. He's got some blockers. He cuts up the near sideline. He has some room. He's up past the 50, dragged out of bounds at the 45 on the other side of midfield.
Stork's pass complete to Sheen.
And that might be good enough for the first down. And it looks like it is. About a 26-yard connection between Stork and Sheen. Good enough for a Hornets first down. That's what you like to see.
Oh, it's first and a mile, and they picked up a mile. So that's just what you want right there. They've run that play a couple times. You just flip it out to Owen. He's one-on-one. If he can make someone miss, he's got open field. Big gainer.
First and 10 from the Cascade 45. The Hornets driving downfield. Stork with Whitlock to his left. Drops back to pass, looks to his near side, pump fakes a pass to his left, now moving around to his right, looking downfield. Stork moving up in the pocket, unfurls one down the far sideline, and it is caught. But there is a flag down in the backfield.
It's a shame that there's a penalty. Another just great throw. And, you know, that time Stork had the opportunity to run, and he's thinking twice about running now and making that throw. And that was right on the money, well downfield.
And this penalty is going against the Cougars. And so
that play will stand. Very good.
It was caught down by about the 25, so call it about a 20-yard catch for the Hornets.
Yeah, Shaw couldn't find his receivers to the left. He curled around, rolled to the right, took his time, found a receiver deep downfield, made the throw. Nice pickup.
10.5 to go in the third quarter. Henley up 21-6. It's first and 10 from the 11. It's a handoff to Whitlock. Finds himself in a group of bodies trying to bounce around a little bit, but he does gain 4 or 5 on the play. Maybe about 3.
Not a lot of room on that particular play, but that's all right. Henley keeping the playbook open.
Sheen set up to the near side. Bennett and Janney to the right of Stork with Whitlock to his left.
Brings up a second and goal.
Second and goal for the Hornets. Play action pass, slant route, Sheen, caught, touchdown Hornets.
There's that slant route. It's been working. Good throw, good catch, touchdown. Henley's lead now expands to 27-6, waiting on the extra point.
Sheen to do the honors. He's perfect tonight, and he missed wide left. Well, there goes the broadcaster jinx, striking again, but the Hornets do lead 27-6 with 9:48 to go in the third. We're going to step aside. When we come back, the Cougars will take possession down a few scores. Hornets up 27-6 on 104.3 and 960 Sports with a video on mybasin.com.
Oregon Tech men and women basketball season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $75 for 30 games. Come help us celebrate our 75th anniversary and cheer on the Hustlin' Owls. Reserved season seats start at $175. And our all-new Family Pass gets a family of 4 in on the action starting at just $200. Go to OregonTechOwls.com/tickets to order. We will see you at Danny Miles Court.
And we're back on 104.3 and 960 Sports, 27-6. The Hornets lead after missing the extra point. The Hornets drove downfield in 7 plays, 67 yards, and a touchdown connection between Shaw Stork and Owen Sheen. That's Stork's 8th touchdown pass of the season, 3rd tonight. And he's looked quite good. And now the Hornets will kick things off to the Cougars.
I want to see now how Cascade responds. Obviously in the locker room they're trying to devise something to stop this Henley offense, and it didn't work. They're down by 3 touchdowns now. Will they continue to do what they do, or are they going to open things up a little bit?
Team kicking off.
And I'm not sure what it is, but the Hornets got to get a new tee for their kickoffs.
Yeah.
It's happened. It's not only here. It's not only this game. It has been every week. Every week.
The ball will not stay on that tee.
Someone's making a trip to Big Five after this one. Okay, that one is going to be kicked and bounce out of bounds at about the 10. So Cascade going to take this one upfield just a little bit. And you make an interesting point about Cascade's pace. They're down 21, so that missed extra point by Henley does make things interesting because Cascade missed their 2-point conversion earlier in the game.
Right.
And now it's an even 21 points, 3 touchdowns, and an extra point difference between these two squads. 9:40 to go in the third. There's still plenty of time, really.
Right, but when you have 8 and 9 minute drives and you're down 3 touchdowns, that may change their thinking just a little bit. So we'll see what they do.
Cascade taking over on their own 35. Abrams going to hand this one off to Bell up the middle for a gain of 5. Second down on the way for Cascade.
There's Nolan Northcutt. Good tackle.
Jacob Bell, the ball carrier there, the leading rusher in the state of Oregon coming into tonight's contest. Had 626 yards and 5 touchdowns entering tonight's game. Don't have updated stats on him for tonight's affairs, but he's right up there. Logan Whitlock, his counterpart for the Hornets, was number 2 in the state. Here we go, 2nd and 5. This is going to be another handoff to Bell. Another situation where as he makes the cut upfield, just can't get a grip on this grass here at Hill O'Brien Field. The Cougars have been stumbling a little bit. It's been strange.
Yeah, it was a nice piece of defense by Owen Northcutt right there. Kept that gain short.
3rd and short. Keeper for the quarterback, Abrams, battling forward, and it looks like he got it. Gain of 4 on the play, good enough for a Cascade first down. That's their 8th of the evening. And as far as 3rd down conversions go, they are 3 for 7.
That was just straight ahead football there. And Cascade won that battle. Picked up the first.
1st and 10 for the Cougars. They trail 27-6 with 8.5 to go in the third. It's 1st and 10 from their own 46. Abrams dropping back to pass, looks near side. The pass is incomplete. The intended target was Cascade's number 12, Hunter Anundi. Brings up 2nd down.
Good coverage over there. Looks like Fox on the play.
You can kind of hear them, the student section getting into it. It's the first time the Hornets have been home this season. I'm sure they appreciate the support of the home crowd, who's decked out in a Western theme tonight. 2nd and 10. This is a handoff to Bell, and it was fumbled on the transfer. The Hornets fall on it, and they get the football.
Owen Northcutt comes up with it. Another nice play by Owen in there.
Henley is going to take over at the Cascade 46 with 8:20 to go in the third quarter. Henley up 27-6. They capped off a scoring drive in their first go of things this half. It was a 6-play drive that lasted 2 minutes, 15 seconds, ended in 6, put them up by 21. We'll see what the Hornets could do here. Stork, Whitlock out there along with the receiving core of Janney, Bennett, and Sheen. The offensive line of Morris, Northcutt, Ortiz, Manso, and Tappan. 1st and 10. Stork takes the snap, rolling to his right, unloads one downfield. A deep pass is incomplete along the far sideline. That was Chris Janney, the intended receiver. Or pardon me, Luke Bennett, the intended receiver there, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Luke actually had a step on his defender out there. Cascade having a little bit of trouble in their defensive backfield picking up some of these deep receivers. Shaw's had targets.
It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Hornets from their own 46-yard line. Hornets driving from right to left. Stork with Whitlock right behind him. This is going to be a handoff to Logan right up the gut. Has a bit of room and battles forward for a gain of 6. 3rd down on the way.
And that was Henley's version of straight ahead football. And I feel like Henley's line is getting stronger as the game goes on.
Those are things you like to see.
Yeah.
They're pushing guys around up there. And it's kind of been characteristic of the team this year. They start to get more and more solid, more and more cohesive as the night wears on. 3rd and 4 coming up for the Hornets. So far tonight, they are 1 for 2 on third down conversion attempts. This is their first one here in the second half. 7.5 to go in the third. Henley up 27-6. Stork with Whitlock to his left. 2 receivers to his right. One to the near side is Sheen. Stork play action pass. Tries to find Sheen down the sideline. It is incomplete. And some contact after the play between Sheen and the defensive back. No flag is called. And that brings up 4th.
Another blue shirt behind the defense. Henley's getting a lot of receivers open deep downfield. Shaw's making good throws. That one just dropped to the turf, 4th down.
Henley's offense staying out there. They've yet to attempt to convert on 4th down tonight. Sheen now sets up to the right of Stork with Whitlock to his left. So is Janney and Bennett. 4th down. They try to get Cascade on the hard count. This time the Cougars showing some discipline. Still 4th down and about 3 to go. Man in motion, it's Janney. Stork drops back to pass, has some time in the pocket, trying to find Whitlock downfield. Whitlock dives, but it is incomplete. Turnover on downs. Cascade will take over from the 40.
That was a good idea. When you have that kind of speed in the backfield, if you can roll Whitlock out and get him open down the field, that's a good time to take a chance with that pass. But the ball was thrown just a little bit long, and Cascade will get the ball back.
An opportunity to remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Les Schwab Tires. Having the right set of tires and wheels on your vehicle is just part of an essential safety checklist, and that's why Les Schwab does more than install just tires and wheels. Come on in for a free pre-trip safety check, and they're going to help make sure that everything's in working order. Bell on the handoff. Takes it upfield about 7 yards.
Nolan Northcutt, first on the scene. It'll be second in about 4.
Score update from Heppner and Lost River. The Raiders up 22-0.
That's halftime.
All right. Another handoff to Bell. This time he's battling forward, staying on his feet once more. A first down for the Cougars and a gain of 10.
Another good hard run by Bell. Thomas Bakke making the tackle, but not before a first down for the Cougars.
It'll be 1st and 10 now in Henley territory at about the 44, maybe 43-yard line. Man in motion for Cascade. A handoff up the middle to Karsten Sandy. He'll battle forward for a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 2nd down for the Cougars.
I see Matthew McCoy at the bottom of the pile. Good stop.
All right, 2nd and about 4. Abrams dropping back to pass. Feels pressure in the pocket, moves it up himself. He's up past the 30 before being brought down, maybe just at the 30. He gets the first down. And Cascade, a new set of downs.
Yeah, Abrams showed some agility there, getting out of the pocket and finding some room. Another first down.
That was the 10th first down of the night for Cascade, hustling to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 from the 30. This is going to be a handoff to Bell up the middle. He's got plenty of blockers. He's got some room. He's up past the 20, wrestled down at the 16.
Yeah, he made it clear into the Henley secondary on that run. And the chains move again.
First down, 11th of the night for Cascade. This is the 6th play of the drive. 5:20 to go in the third quarter. Henley up 27-6. Looks to be another handoff. Battling up the middle, dragging some defenders inside the 5. Brought down at the 3 was Bell. He is carrying the football with a passion.
This is working for Cascade. They are quick on the ball, quick as I've seen them all night.
This is going to be another handoff to Bell. Battling forward. He stood up and he breaks the plane into the end zone. A Cascade touchdown.
That is just what the doctor ordered for Cascade. You know, most teams are down 3 touchdowns. Maybe they go to the air. Maybe they throw. Cascade just put it in high gear, running very quickly, play to play to play, and having success on the run. And they scored rather quickly right there.
And we'll have the numbers after this. Well, the Cougars have gone for 2 on their one other touchdown of the night. Came up short. They were practicing kicking the extra point before the game began. Jackson Walsh would be the one to do it, but it looks like Cascade going for it here. Abrams going to hand it off. And he got in there. Garrett Bond into the end zone. And that makes things a little bit interesting now. It is 27-14. The Hornets still have the lead. That drive for Cascade lasting about 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Took them 7 plays to drive 60 yards.
Well, that just comes down to football philosophy. And Cascade believes in their run. They go for 2 on touchdowns. They trail in a football game in the second half, and they stick with the run. They're going to stick with it. And they narrowed the gap. They're only down 13, and we've got about a quarter and a half to play.
This game brought to you by Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin at 1919 Austin Street or 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza is a proud supporter of high school sports.
Well, I think we saw on that drive why they're a top 10 team, Josh. They know how to move the ball when they need to. That was a good drive.
5:04 to go in the third. 27-14. Henley still with the advantage. The last drive for the Hornets was a 3-and-out.
Whitlock and Bennett are deep for Henley.
Whitlock and Bennett stationed at about the 9-yard line. The kick from Walsh is going to come to the near side. Kick around, and Cascade recovers down the near side at the 30. Henley didn't fall on it. And the Cougars will get it deep into Henley territory. That was a breakdown in the special teams for the Hornets.
Heads up play. And we were wondering how Cascade would respond to Henley's first quick touchdown. They responded very well with a touchdown and picking up a kick.
Not technically an onside kick,
right,
as they'll take it at the Henley 30. It is strange that they were able to get to that. I think the Hornets were waiting for the ball to bounce out of bounds, and Cascade raced there, and they got there in time.
Yeah, just a good heads-up play.
1st and 10 for the Cougars, as they have an opportunity and a window back into this ball game at the Henley 30. They punched it in on 7 plays before. We'll see what they can do here. Another handoff to Bell. Bounces around to the outside and is tackled for a gain of 5. Solid pickup for the state's leading rusher. 2nd down for Cascade.
Whitlock, Owen Northcutt on the tackle. Pretty good gain there, about 4.
Cascade hurries to the line of scrimmage after breaking the huddle. Ready to snap. Abrams drops back to pass. Looks to his left. Is going to have the pass broken up. And a flag in the backfield. It'll be holding against Cascade. And this one coming back.
Good defense by Janney on the pass. You tell your cornerbacks to time it just right so you meet the player when the ball gets there. And he did just that. Knocked the ball away. And Cascade will back up.
Backing up 10, so.
Holding penalty against Cascade.
That will make it 2nd and about 15. Another backing them up a little bit further. So 2nd and 20. This is going to be a handoff to Bell once more. Breaks through the first line of Henley defenders and up for a gain of 9. That will bring up 2nd and 11.
You got about half of it back right there. Owen Sheen made the stop. And that brings up a 3rd down.
Brings up a 3rd down.
I'm sure they'll take 2 cracks at this. 3rd and about 12.
Cascade hurrying to the line of scrimmage. One more handoff to Bell. Has a little bit of room. Battles forward. A gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, Cascade's not even fazed by that 3rd or 4th down marker. They ran straight ahead, and it's 4th and about 6, and they're going to do it again.
Oh, 4th and 6. So that, as far as 3rd down conversions go tonight, puts Cascade at 3 for 8 On fourth down conversions, they're 50% tonight, 2 for 4. This is one of their more long shots added yet. 4th and about 5. Another handoff, this time having some room. Breaking through is Jacob Bell and into the end zone for a Cascade touchdown. He found some room and he punched it in from about 25 yards out.
That's a quick dose of offense there by the Cougars. We were commenting how long their drives were in the first half. They just scored twice.
In 12 plays.
Yes.
And twice in about 4 minutes as well. Right back into this game, 27-20. And now Cascade looks like they're going to try to go for 2 again. They've been successful half the time. Another handoff to Bond, and he's in. Cascade with a 2-point conversion, and that makes the score 27-22, 3:11 to go in the third. And Cascade has crawled back into this game with some special teams magic and some solid offense. They're only down by 5.
We have 2 good teams in front of us tonight, and when opportunities present themselves, both teams capitalize, and we've seen Cascade do just that here in the third quarter. This game has changed.
Yes, it has. The Hornets have got to shore things up. Here on this kickoff is where it begins. Hornets scored to open this third quarter. In 6 plays, they punched it in from 67 yards out. Owen Sheen caught the 5-yard touchdown pass, but that was quite a bit earlier in the ball game. And now, Hornets still in front, although just by 5. The complexion of this game has certainly changed, and now we'll see if Cascade tries to do a little something fancy here and get the ball back like they did last time.
Henley will definitely be ready for this one.
The big 6'7" Walsh talking to the rest of his special teams there. Quite a bit taller than the rest of the fellas out there, although I'm sure he'd be tall standing just about anyone at the stadium.
Right.
All right, here's the kick from Walsh. This one, another kind of floater out to the 30. Henley will fall on it at the 30. And so better safe than sorry. The Hornets will take possession with 3:10 to go in the third.
Wyatt Fussell caught the ball and made sure he covered it up so Henley could get possession. Just over 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
It's going to be Luke Bennett set up to the near side. Sheen and Janney set up to the right side of Stork, with Whitlock in the backfield to Stork's right. Man in motion is Bakke going from left to right. This is going to be an option for Stork, trying to bounce around the outside. He dives forward for a gain of 5. Second down on the way for the Hornets.
That was a good fake. I think everybody thought he had handed it to Whitlock, and Stork kept it, picked up 5.
Those are the plays you want at this point in the ball game. No more going backwards for either of these teams really in the third quarter. Cascade got bit once, but they ate that right back up. See what Henley has to say here at 2nd and 5. Stork, play action pass. It is complete to Bennett. He is wrapped up and brought down after a gain of 10. First down, Hornets.
Once again, that's the slant pattern, starting at the bottom of the field and racing diagonally right across the middle. And that play's worked a number of times tonight. Good throw. Good catch.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the Henley 45-yard line. Stork handing this one off to Whitlock. Spins around one tackle. Broke another one. He's up past midfield, now to the 40, the 35, the 30, inside the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Whitlock. The Hornets needed a big play, and Logan Whitlock delivered. Henley up 33-22 after that touchdown.
That was a good team effort. Good team blocking down the sidelines. Janney with that last block to free up Whitlock, and just good old-fashioned speed. Henley scores again.
Battle of heavyweights tonight. That time, Whitlock scoring from 45 yards out. And now Henley trying to go for 2. Put themselves back up by 21. And a flag. And pardon me, they're already up 21, but trying to make it a little bit more. And unsure what the call was there. Couldn't quite see it. Coach Tyler Turner coming out. First-year head coach is the interim basis for Cascade. Relief of Brandon Bennett, who was the head coach there for 7 years. Won 34 games in those years. And so the Hornets, too many players on the field. And so they're still going to go for 2, although this time back from the 7. Stork puts a man in motion. Drops back to pass. Looking into the end zone for Janney. It is incomplete. So the Hornets will remain up 33-22 with 2 minutes to go in the third. And Cascade will take possession back. That was a good drive for the Hornets. 3 plays, 70 yards, and capped off with Logan Whitlock's second rushing touchdown of the night.
I like how both teams have responded. They both had a little adversity. Henley watched Cascade score twice quickly. Cascade saw the Hornets score a couple times. These are good, mature teams. They're confident in their game plans, and there really is no change in their strategy. It's really refreshing to see. They don't get down. They come right out. They play hard football.
Something else of note here with 2 minutes left to go in the third, 22 points. That's the most Henley's given up this season.
Right. Definitely had the defense went, I believe, 10 quarters without giving up any points in the last few games. So Cascade showing they're for real.
33-22 when Cascade gets the ball back. They'll have 2 minutes to work with in the third quarter. It's the Hornets' first home game this evening of the season. Owen Sheen to kick things off for the Hornets. The kick is up. It is fielded at the 5. Brought up to the 25, now to the 30 before being wrestled down right at the 30. That looked like Karsten Sandy on the return. So Cascade will take over with $1:54 to go in the third.
Wyatt Fussell on the tackle. Good special teams player.
And if you're watching the live stream on 104.3 and 960 Sports, you saw Coach Alex Stork talking to his defense. Coach Stork in his 6th season with the Henley Hornets, a record of 31-17 up to date for those 6 seasons. Graduate of Klamath Union and a national champion at SOU in 2014. This is going to be a handoff to the near side for Cascade. Wrapped up and wrestled down was Bell. And he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Short gain, if any. Second down for Cascade.
Thomas Bakke wrapped him up. He's had a few good tackles tonight. Well done by the Hornets to limit that first down carry.
2nd and 10 for Cascade. This is going to be a handoff to Sandy. Tries to bounce around the outside, cuts back up the middle, and battles forward for a gain of 3 on the play. 3rd down coming up for Cascade. So far tonight on such attempts, they are 3 for 8.
Nolan Northcutt with a cast on his right hand and all, making another nice tackle.
Big play coming up here for the Cougars. They hustle to the line. Abrams drops back to pass. Looks to his left. Tries to dump it off near side. The pass is tipped, but it falls incomplete. 4th down on the way for Cascade.
Well done by the Hornets. Put Cascade into a passing situation. And now they're facing a 4th down in their own territory.
Cascade has only punted the ball once tonight. I don't think we're going to see the second punt right here. They have gone for it on 4th down. So far tonight, they are 3 for 5. This one a handoff, wrestled down and brought down. Couldn't get there, and Henley will get the ball in their own territory. 1st and 10 Hornets.
Logan Whitlock shot through the line and tripped up the ball carrier. Big 4th down stop.
Hornets take over at their own 37 with 39 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter, up 33-22.
That was a big play.
Yes, it was. Like you said, Whitlock was able to dive right in there. You could see, I think the most excited guy after that play was Coach Stork. I found him a few steps out of the field.
He's pumped up. Cascade will go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, they have quite a bit tonight. That was their 5th try at it. 1st and 10 from the 37. Stork designed keeper to the near side. He's got some blockers. He's up past the 35, now inside the 30, and he is going to run out of bounds, avoiding the hit at the 21-yard line. Good enough for a Hornets 1st down, gain of 13 on the play.
I am noticing tonight Chris Janney's a good blocker. He's a good receiver and a good blocker on the outside. Logan Whitlock also leading the charge around that near side of the field. Good blocking by the Hornets.
So that was at the 24 where Shaw went out of bounds. So 1st and 10 from the Cascade 24. One receiver to the near side at Sheen, Janney and Bennett out to the right for Stork. This is going to be a handoff for Whitlock. He has a little bit of room moving up the middle, but is wrapped up from behind after a gain of 5, maybe 6. 2nd down coming up for the Hornets.
Good solid run right in the teeth of that defense.
And it's looking like that will probably bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter as the teams walk off the field now under 10 seconds left to go in the 3rd. The Hornets bring an 11-point lead into the final quarter of play tonight, 33-22 in their first home game of the season against the Cascade Cougars. We'll be back with 4th quarter action on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
During COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out. I lost motivation in eating healthy. And for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it, but the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, no, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week and the next week. And soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes and then going Saturdays. I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband. And all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the golf. My husband is getting out of the house and working out with me. His golf game is increasing, we're lifting together, and we feel good. Harbor, where I lost my reins and got my gains.
Getting ready for the 4th quarter tonight at Henley High School. A handoff to Logan Whitlock to start things off. He races up the middle, and he brings it to the house. Hornets touchdown on the first play of the 4th quarter from about 18 yards out. And the Hornets put themselves up 39-22.
Good aggressive running. Nice offensive show right there again by Henley. Scoring quickly.
That's Whitlock's 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. That was his 10th on the season. That one from 18 yards out. Now Sheen looking to convert here on the extra point. It is up, and it is good. So the Hornets up 40-22 with 11:52 to go in the final quarter. That drive for the Hornets lasting 38 seconds and 4 plays for Henley, capping it off with Logan Whitlock's 3rd touchdown of the night. Extra point is good, and Henley finds themselves back up with a fairly comfortable 18-point advantage, although Cascade has trimmed things down before. They have a tough time counting out these Cougars. It's going to take some solid play from the Henley defense here still.
Yeah, you're right. That you know that they won't be giving up on the other sideline. They're going to come out and see if they can pull some more of that magic out of the hat and score a couple times quickly. But Henley's offense, just the limited amount of time that they've had the football. 38-second drive. Pretty efficient.
Certainly.
You know, so they've done really well. The defense, too. The defense played well tonight. You know, they put the work in, and they haven't panicked. They haven't done anything drastic. They picked up a turnover, made some big plays, and we'll see how they handle this drive here. We'll see if the T works. That's always exciting.
Yeah, it's kind of been what I'm looking at. It looks like, well, it worked last drive. Sheen has to look at it on his way out there. It looks like it's okay. So the Hornets will kick off. Cascade will be going from right to left. The kick from Sheen, it's a bullet. Bounces around the 5 and into the end zone. Sheen putting some heat on that kick.
I think his goal on that, he kind of kicks a sideways wobbler, and it's like you're right, it's like a bullet. It's just kind of a line drive. It ends up going out of the end zone. That's a good kickoff. It works.
Cascade will take over at their own 20, trailing by 18 with 11:52 to go in the final frame of this contest. Henley looking to improve to 4-0 on the season if they're able to hold on throughout this final quarter. And also looking to grab their first win here in front of a home crowd, which has made themselves known tonight.
Yeah, it's almost full. These stands are full. Good turnout. And I don't think we'll see Cascade waste any time here. I think they'll be moving the ball pretty quickly.
1st and 10. Abrams rolling out to his right, trying to find someone down the right sideline. The intended target was Cascade's number 22, Karsten Sandy, but it does fall incomplete. 2nd and 10 for Cascade.
Henley read that one well. They had a number of defensive players over there. Really no chance of that pass being completed. 2nd down.
See if Cascade now in the 4th quarter decides to turn to the passing game just a bit more. 2nd and 10. Abrams dropping back to pass again, looking to the near sideline. He feels some pressure, rolling out to his left. He's going to have to take this one out of bounds. He did move upfield for a gain of 2 or 3 yards, but it brings up 3rd and 8 for the Cougars tonight on 3rd down. This is their 10th attempt, and it's worked 3 times, so attempt number 10 here on 3rd down for Cascade.
That was nice work stringing that play out again. We've seen that a few times tonight from the Hornets, and then Nolan Northcutt finally making the push out of bounds for Henley.
So they're putting it at about 3rd and 7. The yard to gain is the 30. This is going to be a handoff to Bell. He has the first down and then some. He's got some room upfield. He cuts back at the 40 before being brought down. And Bell asking for the face mask, no flag. It did look like he was yanked down rather peculiarly, but no face mask called.
Yeah, Luke Bennett, he tackled him high, but I think he had his hands around the shoulder pads. But it was definitely a rough tackle for sure. But a good gainer for Cascade. They pick up a 1st down.
1st and 10. After that gain of about 20, it'll be 1st and 10 Cascade from their own 44. Abrams dropping back to pass, fires a bullet over the middle. It's complete to the big target, tight end Jackson Walsh. A gain of 5 on the play. 2nd down coming up for Cascade.
Logan Whitlock had to drop back in pass responsibility there, and he was on the coverage. Good tackle.
Abrams has had a little bit of success through the air here in this 4th quarter, slinging the ball. He feels a little bit more confident. This one is going to be a delayed handoff to Bell up the middle. He gets a 1st down and a gain of 14. No, pardon me. About 10 on the play for Cascade.
You can see why he leads the state in rushing. He gets that forward lean, and there's no going back. He really runs downhill, as they say. And he picks up a lot of yards doing it that way.
1st and 10. Now into Henley territory are the Cougars. This will be stationed at the 44-yard line, so that was a 10-yard gain for Bell. This is going to be a play-action pass. Abrams in the pocket, feels pressure, and is wrapped up and brought down. sack and a loss of 5 on the play. 2nd and 15.
Credit Owen Northcutt with the sack. He had a little help, a lot of pressure, but he makes the tackle and a big loss.
Receiver to the near side for Cascade is Brett Leday. Abrams dropping back to pass again, looking to the near side, has time to throw. This one is thrown right over the middle and caught by Walsh. He jumped and he brought it down. Call that one a gain of 13, I think just short of the marker. Brings up 3rd and 1.
The key to that completion was excellent line play for the Cougars.
They gave the quarterback a long time to throw.
A long time. That was just a brick wall. Well done.
Timeout called by Coach Alex Stork. We'll stick with you through this timeout as it gives us a great time to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Picking the right path can make the journey easier, the distance shorter, and can assure that you end up at the right place. Whether you're dreaming of owning a home or you just want a great checking account, Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union can help you reach your goals. Also, Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty. Little things can add up to big bills when you're buying, selling, or owning a home, and Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty's exclusive Beyond the Sale guarantees protect buyers, sellers, and homeowners from unexpected repair bills. To learn more, call Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty today. The score 40-22. Henley leads with 9:16 to go in the ball game. Cascade is driving. It'll be 3rd and 1 from the Henley 35. The yard to gain is the 34.
If you're Henley, you do not want to give up the big play. You're 3 scores ahead, so you just want to keep doing what you're doing. Don't give up anything deep. See if you can get the ball back here on 3rd and 1.
6th play of the drive on the way for Cascade. 3rd and 1. Abrams takes the snap. It is going to be a delayed handoff to Bell. Cuts upfield, a gain of 2. That is good enough for a Cascade first.
Nothing tricky there. Bakke with the stop, but enough to move the chains. And just under 9 minutes now left in the ball game.
Coming out to the near side for Cascade is Gage Nicholson, the receiver. Play action pass. Abrams rolling out to his right, tries to fire one to his right, and the pass is complete. Late flag after the play at the side of the catch.
Owen Northcutt applied the pressure on the quarterback, forced him to throw a little bit early.
Is that targeting against Henley?
I did not see that.
Fist to the head.
They're still discussing the call. They will be against Henley.
Well, you get ejected for a targeting call, so I think that's what they're discussing. It doesn't look like any Hornets are coming off the field. I think it's just helmet-to-helmet contact, and no one is ejected. But the ball is moving forward. Personal foul against the Hornets. And that will put Cascade inside the 20 at about the 17 or so yard line. 1st and 10 Cougars.
Cougars given an opportunity here, trying to narrow this gap.
Handoff to Bell. Has a hole along the left side, battles through it for a gain of 5, and he's been good for 4, 5, 6 yards just about every carry. Eight and a half minutes and counting left to go in the game. Henley up 40-22.
I think that was Ortiz in on that tackle.
Abrams dropping back to pass. He stumbles, a flag, and Abrams is down in the backfield, but again, a flag before he was brought down, and holding against Cascade is going to bring him back even further.
That was good penetration by the Henley defensive line, and there was really no choice but to hold to keep those players off of their quarterback. Good break for Henley.
Yeah, after that personal foul call, you get some yards back on that holding penalty.
Yep. We've had a few penalties tonight.
Welcome home.
And they've been the 10 and 15 yard variety, so it's been a big impact in this game.
Stationed at the 27, it'll be 1st and 20. Pardon me, 2nd and 20 for Cascade. Abrams dropping back, looking deep. It is intercepted. No, just dropped. The ball was jostled loose off of the Cascade receiver's helmet as they came down. I can't quite see who that was who had a grip on the football, but
that was Owen Sheen out there, and that was really nice coverage. He opened up to the inside once the ball was thrown. He played that just perfectly, and he almost came down with the interception.
It'd have been a huge takeaway for the Hornets. Still in a good spot, 3rd and 20. Cascade's got to come up with some yardage here. Abrams dropping back to pass, has time to throw, moves up in the pocket, and he is wrestled down and sacked. Maybe a gain of 1 as he did get back to the line of scrimmage. 4th down and forever for Cascade.
Thomas Bakke, sure-handed tackle. Very nice play, leading up to a 4th down. About 7.5 minutes left to go.
Tonight, Cascade 3 for 7 on 4th down conversions. They haven't been afraid to go for it, but this is the longest try by far and could help decide this ball game. 9:30 here tonight at Henley High School. We got off to a late start, but these teams playing hard. 4th and 20. Abrams drops back to pass, has time to throw, looks towards the end zone. That one is intercepted at the 5, brought back up by the 10. Now to the 20, up along the far sideline, up to the 30 before being brought out of bounds. That is Luke Bennett on the interception, and he made quite the return as well. The Hornets will take possession 1st and 10 at the 30.
The Hornets were ready for a deep ball there. They had a lot of players playing deep. Luke saw it right from the quarterback's arm. There was really no question. He had that ball the whole way, and a nice run back. Good play, Luke.
Certainly. Henley takes over from the 30. 6:45 to go in the ball game. And the Hornets up 18. They've looked good on offense.
Ladies and gentlemen, Josh forgot his coat.
Yeah, well, it's, you know what? You live and you learn, and it seems like the first game of every year, I'm like, I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
You're doing great.
Yeah, well.
It's a little bit cold, but hang in there. Hang in there.
Thank you. 1st and 10 from the Henley 30. It is a handoff to Whitlock. He bounces around one defender, stays on his feet, and falls forward for a gain of about 6.
How about that? He was stopped at the line, and he showed us his balance right there and sprung up, picked up 5 or 6 more.
You can't just hit these Hornets and expect them to fall. You got to make the tackle. There's no just popping a guy and hoping he stumbles over. You have to bring him down.
Good point.
2nd and 4 coming up for the Hornets.
We'll see Henley take their time now. They can run some clock.
And they certainly will. We're about 6:05 to go in the ball game now. This is a keeper for Stork. He finds some room up the middle before being brought down. Call it a gain of about 7 on the play. Good enough for a Hornets 1st down. Stork down at the 45, still on the Hornets side of midfield. But for Henley tonight, that is 1st down number 11.
Another reason this Henley team has played so well is their game management. Very mature out there. They know when to hustle, and they know when to slow it down. And they're in command of this game right now.
1st and 10 Hornets. Letting the clock dwindle. Stork takes the snap, handoff to Whitlock. Right up the gut, and a gain of 5.
Whitlock carries.
That's just what you want. If you're a Henley fan, pick up 4 or 5 yard chunks, run the clock, get out of here with a win.
Hornets right at midfield. It'll be 2nd and 5. 4th play of the drive looming. Under 5 minutes. Oh, pardon me, just at 5 minutes left to go in this ball game, and Henley up 18, 40-22, looking for win number 4 on the season. Here we go, 2nd and 5. Henley takes the snap, handoff to Whitlock again, spins around one defender, coming up the near side. He's up past the 45, now the 40, up to the 35 before cutting back across. He's wrestled down at the 30. A 20-yard rush for Logan Whitlock, good enough for a Henley first down, and what a play by the junior.
What a great play, and for a number of reasons. First of all, he spun around about 3 times and kept his feet to make a great run. But at the end of that run, he had the sense to stay in bounds. He could have stepped out, avoided a tackle, didn't do that at all. He cut back in, fell to the turf inbounds, and the clock runs. That's a sign of a smart football player. Nicely done.
You mentioned the clock, 4.5 to go in the ball game, 40-22 Henley. 3 receivers set out to the left of Stork, Whitlock to his right as a halfback. This is a keeper for Stork, has some room up the middle, up to the 25, brought down past the 20 at about the 18-yard line. Call it a gain of 12 and a Hornets first down, their 14th tonight. That matches Cascade's total so far in the game.
If you're Cascade, you're really not sure who's getting the ball. You don't know if Logan's going to get it or if Shaw's going to keep it, and right now it's causing problems. They're both terrific runners, and they're getting huge chunks of yards on this drive.
1st and 10 from the Cascade 18. Hornets driving downfield. Stork taking the snap, handing it off to Whitlock, tries to bounce around and gets leveled in the backfield. Maybe a loss on that play, 2nd and 11.
Young with a nice tackle for the Cougars. It's hard to get a hold of Whitlock, but he did that time. They lost a couple.
So 2nd and 11 for the Hornets coming up. There looks to be some kind of debris on the field, but I'm not quite sure.
Might be a towel or something.
Yeah, no one's looking to pick it up. Either way, 2nd and long. This is a keeper for Stork again. Finds some room up the middle. Fights forward for a gain of 4 or 5 yards. 3rd down on the way for Henley.
Henley's doing this just right. That inside of 3 minutes now. Cascade may use a timeout if they can't stop them on this 3rd and about 8.
Henley has really not faced 3rd down very much at all tonight.
No.
They are 2 for 3 on such attempts. 3 third down attempts.
Yeah, they've had so many big yardage gains that they haven't had a lot of thirds.
Timeout called for the Hornets. We will take a break. The Hornets up 40-22 with 2.5 to go in the 4th and final quarter from Henley High School. We'll be back on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HEO on mybasin.com.
Oregon Tech men and women basketball season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $75 for 30 games. Come help us celebrate our 75th anniversary and cheer on the Hustlin' Owls. Reserved season seats start at $175. And our all-new Family Pass gets a family of 4 in on the action starting at just $200. Go to OregonTechOwls.com/tickets to order. We will see you at Danny Miles Court.
We're back at Henley High School, 40-22. The Hornets lead the Cascade Cougars at home tonight. 2.5 to go in the final quarter. It's 3rd and 7 for the Hornets. They're deep into Cascade territory at about the 15, and they get Cascade to jump again. Offsides, Cougars move it up 5 yards, and that makes it 3rd and short.
Henley showing us that they are very good. They know how to finish a game, and not a lot of experienced teams know how to do that. Henley's very good at that. They get the right situation and the right lead. They can work the clock all the way down to the end. Pick up the W.
3rd and 3. Hand off to Whitlock. He fights forward. Looks like he's right at the marker. The question is, will they give it to him on that 3rd and short? It looks like he is just short. So it'll be 4th and inches coming up for the Hornets. Timeout called by Henley. That is their final of this half. And a fine time to remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness have the most understanding trainers that you could ask for. They help you get motivated, and their workouts will make you feel accomplished all day long. Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness wants you to lose those reins and get your gains. Also, Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate. At Klamath Falls Subaru, stop by and say hi. We've got a score update from Mazama North Bend. Unsure if this is final. 50-0 Mazama in front of North Bend. Also, Marshfield leading KU at Modoc Field 34-7. We'll find out if those are both finals, as those games did start about a half hour before ours did tonight here at Henley High School. By the way, JV game played before us. Cascade beat the Henley JVs 14-0. Back in this game, 2:04 left to go, and Henley up 40-22. It's 4th and about a yard. Henley going forward here. Their first attempt at 4th down tonight. They try to get Cascade to jump. To no avail. Here's the snap. Handoff to Whitlock. Battling forward. He is wrestled back, but the question is, did he get the forward motion enough for the first down? It's real close.
It's very close.
And they're giving it to him.
Yep.
1st and 10 Hornets. 1 for 1 on 4th down conversions tonight. And the clock.
You know what? He was short, Josh.
Oh, was he short? The far line judge who has the markers there called for the first down, but was that overruled by?
Yep.
Okay.
They did. They sent the ball the other direction. So.
Okay. Well, scratch what I said. 0 for 1 on 4th down conversions tonight, and Cascade will take over deep in their own territory at about the 10. They've got an 18-point disadvantage, 40-22 with $1:58 to go in the game. They do have 3 timeouts for what it's worth, but a whistle is blown before the first play. Flag on the near side. This one could be against the Hornets from the way the officials are talking, but we'll see what the actual call is.
Is that too many men again?
Yeah, it's the second time that's happened to Henley. First on the offense, now on the defense. So just getting the right personnel out there for Henley. It will bring the ball forward 5 yards, 1st and 5.
Playing with 12 helps.
Yeah, I would say so. It's a good advantage. 1st and 5. This is going to be a handoff to Bell, who rumbles forward. He's still on his feet. Finally brought down after a gain of 10. Late flag after the players still rumbling around.
Yeah, there was a lot of action in that pile. I'm not sure what they called.
Personal foul against Cascade. And so just as quick as they get a penalty in their favor, moving it up, they are going backwards.
Maybe a little frustration setting in as this game closes out. Minute 46 left to go. Hornets lead 40-22.
And with this win, Henley will improve to 2-0 in league play. They will be 4-0 overall. One of a handful of undefeated teams left in the 4A. Mazama is one of them. They grabbed a massive win tonight over North Bend, 50-0. Last we heard from there. And then one other undefeated team left in the state off the top of my head. I believe it's Estacada, who's the other undefeated team. And then you got the Hornets. So 1st and 10 back at the 15 for Cascade. This is another handoff to Bell. Stays on his feet, battling forward, flags down, 2 of them right at the same spot. And again, it comes after a run play where just about all 22 players on the field are involved in the play, or in the tackle, I should say. Now the conversation happening. We'll see. This one's a personal foul against Cascade again. And so going backwards, did you see anything on that play, Kev?
I didn't see specifically, no, but The officials definitely did, because there were 2 flags thrown right there.
And so this one moving back again. Minute 38 left to go in the ball game, 40-22. The Cougars are headed back. Final 2 minutes, often the longest portion of any football game, it seems like.
Yeah. The official spent some time in the Cascade huddle right there, maybe giving a little bit of advice how to finish this ball game.
It's 1st and 11. This looked to be a keeper from the quarterback, Abrams. He fights forward for a small gain that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
I think Matthew McCoy made the tackle there. Henley defense did a nice job. They had a little bit in that 3rd quarter. They gave up a couple of scores, but good effort tonight.
Another run play for the Cougars. Battling forward on that one was Sandy. And so he gets a gain of 10. That'll be good for a Cascade 1st down. That is their 15th tonight.
Owen Northcutt again.
Under a minute now to go in the ball game. A handoff to Bell. He dives forward, a gain of 4 or 5. 2nd down coming up. We'll see how many more plays Cascade intends to run as time dwindles away. 35 seconds to go in an 18-point ball game.
Seeing a few substitutions come in.
This one, another handoff. Sandy finding a little bit of room, wrapped up and brought down at the 50. And pardon me, that was Jacob Bell, the state's leading rusher on that carry. 1st down, Cascade. They're 16th tonight. Maybe one more play left to go in the ball game. This one is going to be another handoff to Bell, fighting forward and brought down after a gain of 7. That will be the final play of tonight's affairs. Henley 40, Cascade 22. We're going to find out who the Mountain Mike's player of the game is coming up, but first we'll break down this game for you, take a look around the state upcoming in our post-game show, so stick with us on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com.
The road's a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Ugh, keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Help maximize your mileage with a free safety check. Just swing by. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home, I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses. all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Welcome back to 104.3 and 960 Sports. We're here talking with our Mountain Mike's player of the game tonight, Luke Bennett. Luke, you got a great win tonight against a solid Cascade team. You're finally home tonight. Talk to me about some of the emotions that you're feeling this evening.
Just really happy to come out here and get it done. You know, we've been looking forward for this all week. Been practicing every day for it. We know it's coming to us. So we did a good job executing. We could have done better. Always trying to get better.
You scored a touchdown on offense tonight, a big 70-yard touchdown catch. You also got that interception late in the game. Talk about some of the work that you've done to be productive in this ball team.
You know, we always work on our pedals, our routes, everything. We all got to be on the same page to get the job done. So tonight we're on the same page than they were. Got the job done.
You play both sides of the ball. Is there one you like better? You like offense? You like defense?
I like both of them.
Just a football player, huh?
Yeah.
All right. You came up with a big win tonight. You guys are 4-0. Are you thinking about this kind of perfect record you guys got going on, or are you just focused on each and every game?
Week by week, man. Every week.
You got Hidden Valley up next week. They've been an interesting opponent last year. Played you guys close, and they played Klamath Union close. It's an interesting ball club over there. Have you looked at them? Are you thinking about them at all?
All focus was on Cascade tonight, and we'll be looking forward to them next week.
All right, finally, before I let you go, you had the student section on your side tonight. You played 3 games on the road. You were finally back at home. Talk about what the experience has been like at home tonight.
It's amazing, man. Having your fans here, it's the best feeling ever when they run out, when you win. You know, you don't do it for yourself, you do it for everyone else.
Absolutely. Well, I'll let you take this. This is your certificate to Mountain Mike's Pizza. Logan, you have earned this one. Refuel after the game with 100% whole milk mozzarella toppings piled so high you are going to need a mountain guide to reach the top. Luke, Mountain Mike's Pizza, Washburn Way near Walmart Shopping Center. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be. I'll let you go celebrate with your team, my friend. Good job tonight. That was Luke Bennett, our Mountain Mike's player of the game this evening on 104.3 and 960 Sports. We're going to take one more quick break. When we come back, we'll break this one down for you as we continue our coverage of Henley football on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Hornets coming away with a home win tonight, 40-22. We'll be back.
There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Welcome back to 104.3 960 Sports, HD video on mybasin.com. Kev, the Hornets grabbing a big win at home, 40-22 tonight. What did you see when you watched this team?
Well, this team is maturing. You know, when we saw them week 1 at Seaside, we wasn't exactly sure what we're going to get. You know, who are the new players? How are they going to work into the system? Now we're starting to see that. And this team is quickly becoming a mature team. I really like how I saw them score at will. I like how they finished ball games. I especially like how they didn't panic and they didn't rush. Cascade made a move in that third quarter.
Yeah, they did.
They cut that lead down to almost nothing. Henley they stayed the course. They kept their cool, and that's a sign of a good, mature team. And they're really evolving. If we said that Henley was 2-2 after these first 4 games, we'd be happy.
Yeah, I would
right?
agree. Yeah, tough teams. I mean, you talked about beating
teams.
Seaside on the road, which was a challenge. Crater and Ashland on the road. You finally return home tonight to play maybe the best team you played all year, and you handle them by 18 points.
I agree. This is the best opponent we've seen, and Henley's 4-0. I mean, what a terrific start to a season. And as a coaching staff, you just want to get it at this point and just take it from here. You don't rest on your 4-0. You see who's next, and you line it up next week. Just a really good game against a good opponent tonight for the Hornets.
9 total touchdowns in the game this evening. It all started with a Luke Bennett 70-yard touchdown catch. Then Cascade answered right back. A 96-yard touchdown run by their quarterback, Abrams. Then Henley scored the next 3 times. A Janney 65-yard touchdown catch. Whitlock punched it in from 5 yards to score a touchdown. Then Owen Sheen reined it in from 5 yards out on that nice little slant route. Then, like you said, Cascade made a move in the third quarter. Jacob Bell scored twice, once from 3 yards out, once from 25, trimmed the lead to 5, and then the Hornets, they slammed the door. It was a Logan Whitlock 45-yard touchdown. Logan punched it in again from 18 yards out to close out the ball game. Henley 14 first downs tonight. Cascade moved the ball really well. I mean, credit to this team who came over here in a tough environment. They did move the ball well. 16 first downs. They converted on 5 of 12 third downs and 3 of 7 fourth down conversions. This team moved the ball really well against Henley. They came away with the win, and Henley came away with the win. But again, this Cascade team did move the ball pretty well.
Yeah, they're an aggressive team. You know what? They'll be there in the end.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a playoff team we saw tonight, and we may even see them again later in the season. They're a good club, and they did a lot of things right. Henley just they put a 40 up there, and they just outscored them tonight.
Cascade falling to 2-2 on the season. They're still 1-0 in league play. Henley is still 1-0 in league play as well. They are 4-0 overall on the season. Mazama 1-0 in league play after their big win tonight over North Bend. They are also 4-0. So these two Klamath Basin teams jockeying for position early in the Big Sky Conference. Marshfield grabbing a win over Klamath Union tonight. They improved to 2-0 in league play, 3-1 on the season. Klamath Union dropping to 2-2 overall, 1-1 in league play. Don't have a final score on the Ashland Hidden Valley game tonight, but of course you can check osaa.org for final scores this evening. Kev, before we head off the air, any final thoughts about this ball game tonight and what we've got moving forward against Hidden Valley next week?
It's late.
This was true.
This was Big Sky After Dark.
Yes, it was.
Can we say that?
I think so. We'll coin that one.
All right. Yeah, we're the last game to finish tonight. Just, you know what? It couldn't go any better for Henley. Everybody's healthy. Kids played great. And we're moving on to Hidden Valley next week.
40-22, the final tonight. This about does it for us on 104.3 and 960 Sports. We've had HD video on mybasin.com. I'd like to thank a few of the folks that make this broadcast possible. Of course, our home athletic director, Mr. Luke Hammond, getting us set up on the broadcast tonight. Of course, both head coaches, head coach Alex Stork of the Henley Hornets and Tyler Turner at Cascade. Thanks to those gentlemen for accommodating the broadcast this evening. Great to work with both those gentlemen and get ourselves on the air and bring you a great football game tonight. Henley taking this one, improving to 4-0 on the young season, 40-22. For Kevin Petrick, I'm Josh Eldridge saying good night from Hill O'Brien Field at Henley High School.